Welcome back to another Angry Coach Marathon. Yes, believe it or not, people are still pretending to play Starcraft and they're still desperate for attention on the internet. So, like a good entrepreneur and a red-blooded American, I'm gonna monetize that. So here we are, a new Angry Coach Marathon, and today's a very special day for a lot of special people. It's Father's Day. So here, you can not only be disappointed in yourself, but I, your father figure, can be disappointed in you. So, it'll be just like another day, but even better. So, first off, I want to congratulate everyone who's played Starcraft in the last few months. Good job out there. You've done great. Those 3 or 4 games that you managed to put together, I'm so proud of you. Also, maybe you should play more than 4 games before deciding to spend your hard-earned money on sending it in to Angry Coach. So, despite all that lack of decision-making, despite all of the warnings, despite so many educational tools, people quoting me essentially other resources that aren't mine. I know other people are putting out educational videos, believe it or not, and I'm glad to see that, like when it comes to Vibe and Hearthstone, shout out to them. I'm glad to see that their educational content is being skimmed over, misinterpreted, and bastardized in the same way mine is. So with all that said, and with so much more to say, Angry Coach Marathon. First off is a Colony of Ants, who is sending in a game he played against me. It was a viewer game because, of course, even if I fell off one of the world's largest ladders, I probably still would struggle to hit him on it. This was a game where I was challenged to play with less than 75 actions per minute. I succeeded. But we're here. This is what we're doing.
Remember, don't panic. Okay, maybe a little panic.
And we begin. Winter changing the details? I'm sorry. What details did I change? I will pull out the fucking VOD from like 4 days ago. You want to challenge me on this? I said 80, you challenge... Were you the first one to play viewer games? He might be right. I may have said 60. I remember one being 60 and then moving to 75. That is what happened. I did fail. I said 60 actions per minute. I had 61 at the end of this game. It's a battle on the boardwalk. I'm not sure what kind, like we're here. I guess we're gonna watch it again. We didn't get enough attention in that first day. So, battle on the boardwalk, well known for being one of the most entertaining and least competitive maps in StarCraft history. Part of why I picked it. I don't know what the mods are doing in the chat, trying to clear chat. Stop pressing random buttons. Everyone who cares has better Twitch TV anyways. And everyone who doesn't barely knows how to use the internet. So that explains, like, almost all of Twitch chat. So you will now see one of the reasons why this map was not particularly competitive. When there is a single wide path to a hidden gold base, it makes for very interesting and very, yeah. So here's the problem for Mr. Ants, is if he had linked me one of his non-existent ladder games, and it looked kind of similar to this, I would say, alright, decent opener. You can't tell what the Protoss is doing, but the shenanigans are afoot. We're building queens, we got drones, not particularly supply blocked, looking good. But, unfortunately, one bad apple, the second part of that sentence is spoils the bunch. And so when you're playing a game against me on Battle on the Boardwalk, you're not going to get much constructive criticism because there's not much to build off of. If I throw you a replay in $15 now, when would it be reviewed? As soon as possible.
Brood is under attack.
Like,
The swarm is...
Okay, so the answer, honestly, this is part of the reason Battle on the Boardwalk was kind of a stupid map, though made for entertainment. I actually do like having these type of maps in the pool. It's just... It works better with it. I've played some Age of Empires lately. I don't like a lot of the RNG in it, but it does make for interesting games because the civilizations are relatively similar. But... in Starcraft, there are significant differences. I think I just saw a moth. I'm getting attacked by Mutalisk in real life as well. I thought we had finished killing off the insects. Why do they still exist? Come on, humanity. Let's go.
Under attack. Panic time.
It's only the annoying ones that are going to be left. Like mosquitoes and moths and queens.
A mineral field has been depleted. Your precious bit.
Okay, so in general, Hydras do not counter Void Race.
You engage the enemy on purpose.
Like, what a mediocre first replay. I want to just comment, like, if you had a ladder game, I'd be happy here. But it's me.
Your brood's stronger now. You, on the other hand?
Donation confirmed.
And unfortunately,
LaserCat6 just donated $15. My first angry
I don't want to
coach was
take
in
a
gold
fourth
league
because I
in
didn't
early
want 3 bases to be
2019.
threatened.
Now I'm kinda
I didn't
decent.
want to take the
I want to
fourth
know
because
how
I
to
didn't
stop
want 3
taking
bases
such
to be
bad trades
threatened.
versus Terran
Okay,
311
here's what you fucking do. You come over here and you kill the Stargate because there's one pylon. Okay? Alright, you see all those Hydras? My genius man friend? All those Hydras, you come over here and you go fucking kill this. And then your bases aren't so threatened anymore. Like, you don't have to worry about the... Like, it is a Stargate, a cannon, like, that this is not some sort of massive castle here. I didn't know how much you had back there, so it was definitely much easier to attack into multiple cannons at the front. Like, we knew for sure there were multiple cannons and units at the front. But who knows how much could be back in this, like, tiny-ass boardwalk area. On it, the question is Kybert a millionaire or a billionaire? It's not about how much money he has, it's about how much he's willing to spend to make other people think he's rich. Okay? Didn't your father teach you anything?
All done evolving. For now, anyway. Mind out of that cluster. And still in the game? Nice. The enemy is attacking your
The
swarm.
113.
Mutation done. You can run faster and stronger to your death.
So, like, you're not going to get constructive criticism on Battle on the Boardwalk. If you actually want to know how to beat the army, well, the answer is a Queen Roach push in the early game. And then the later game is Lurker Viper. Hive Tech Lurker Viper. Hydras are kind of shitty. Like, Hydra timings aren't really a thing. Not anymore. Because Queens are just like Hydras, but better in almost every way.
Your swarm is now bigger. And you took all the minerals from that cluster. Your brood is under attack.
They have similar anti-air DPS. They don't cost any gas. They have more HP. They can heal. There are no damage bonuses against them besides biological. Queens. At least, I mean, I remember this game. This was not long ago. I remember at this moment right here seeing these queens make their way across. I'm like, ah. There was a definite kind of situation going on. But the problem is, without lurkers, without anything to back them up. So, like, you gotta, at some point, once again, this isn't Age of in Age of Empires. Oh yeah, by the way, you know what happens when you don't stop someone from taking, like, when you just decide to conscientiously object to the existence of this? You know what happens? Two can play at that game, and one of them has gold minerals. Also, it's not very hard to warp in zealots in the back of the base when you already have a pylon there. Like, you gotta get rid of it. Like, it has to go.
Base under assault. The swarm is threatened. Brood under attack. Panic time. Base under attack. Did you build it on mutation?
Hive. The answer is Hive. I know it's scary. See, the problem with Hive Tech is that you have to use Hive Tech units when you get it. Wait, is Hive done? Hive is done. So where are those Hive Tech units we spoke of? I got +3 ranged attack. Oh, I'm sorry. How does that prevent Hydras from dying to half a dozen Archons? The answer is Lurker Viper. That's your late game army against ground. Against air, your late game army is Lurker Viper in tiers.
Finished. Yeah. Base under attack. Hydra Queens. Hydra House. The enemy is attacking your swarm. Check the replay. Find that play button.
And he never found the play button. Like, you gotta deal with it. It's gotta go. It's not a good replay. It's just based on the fact that this was the replay. I have to knock down points here. I'm just disappointed. So the macro was okay with no context, but context is kind of important. It's a B. It's a B. Assuming it was a ladder map against a ladder player and not against me on Battle on the Boardwalk. Can you tell him you're disappointed in a dad voice? No, I'm speaking out loud. I think we have to put that in the all right column. Which is, unfortunate. That was mediocre. Once again, we're doomed to start every marathon with a mediocre-ass replay. Can we move on to something a little more aggressively terrible? We have Clank. And we got Laser Cat and Kybrit now, which... Is this like 5? I have an excellent replay for now, for you. Well, I'm glad to hear it, and I'm excited. So, just one thing, fuck you, pay me.
Follower.
Platinum Zerg.
Is that all?
My coterie is chilling for 1 month.
Alright. This is your chance, Mr. Supply Blocked for about half of the first 10 minutes, friend, to say, oh, no, not this game. I meant a different game. Before we start. Okay, I'll take that as a good to go. This is from Permitivity. This one's fine. Okay. Is it, though? It doesn't look fine. It looks like you get supply blocked at 36 supply. It looks like you get supply blocked at 56 supply. Maybe even a 44 in there. I assume at some point in the match... This isn't Reaper existing. Is this really Reaper existing? I don't think this is Reaper existing. We'll see, though. Thank you, Captain Honeycomb. Plaza help. The Zergs are out. Alright. This is what happens. The Zergs are always slow. It's just a general thing. Like, I've noticed, because we didn't do Angry Coach for a few months, I come back, the first day we come back, 0 Zergs. That was, like a month ago. But, in the last 2 times, the Zergs are like, I'm ready now! I'm ready! And that summarizes most of their game plan. When are you gonna do a host or something with those Jimmy coins? When people stop disappointing me with their replays, maybe. Thank you, Gravity Pike.
Gravity_Pike is chilling for 26 months.
Alright, so we're second Overlord's hanging out over here. Fine. Like, that's an anti-cannon rush position. But, like, the fact that the Overlords seem to have a plan at all is something. Like, that's good. I got bunker rushed a bunch. But, like, SCVs don't teleport behind your mineral line is something I would like to, like, unless I've missed something. Like, what about the... Yeah, I assume you saw it. You've been hurt before. Like, one drone. One drone is fine. No. Okay, so... The Overlords... Honestly, as long as you have... First Overlord here. Second Overlord sent this way, and it can hang out here. Third Overlord here. Fourth Overlord here. Everyone else can go hide in a fucking corner and hope you don't fly them in the Vikings.
Confirmed.
Thank you.
Bronze Knee just donated $15. I figured out how to love you pay me. I'm trying
That
to
is
get
to
better
cover
at
all the
one-basing
attack
since
angles,
switching to Terran
usually
and all my
scouting with
games look
multiple
like
overlords
this.
if you don't have overlord
Help
speed.
me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Obi-Wan ain't here. Also, he died because he was too nice to his student when his student was stupid and needy. All right, Obi-Wan got himself killed because he was too nice.
Donation confirmed.
I'm not gonna make that same mistake.
Widowmaker 702 just donated $15. This should be fun. Kappa.
Okay, I want you permitivity. You got one chance, one shot, one opportunity. You know what's better than one queen? Yes, I make two, don't worry. There you go. And more later. Yes, I would hope so.
Your attention.
Widowmaker 702 is
Thank you,
chilling for
Widowmaker.
1 month.
No. If there's no expansion on the low ground, don't do this. You sit on the pervert pillar. Alright? The Batman pillar. You can poke in, see the barracks, but there's no reason to risk the OV. Seeing when he expands is most important. You'll scout. Well, I guess you're scouting with the drone now. But his barracks is on the high ground. That's what matters. If you lose this OV, it can throw you off dramatically. And end up with a kind of silly amount of supply box. Like, there's nothing to see. Even if you go in and you see an expansion, it's not... You see... Stop. Worry about your fucking self right now. You got only one larva. You know what? I'll give you a couple more seconds of staring down what you could already see with the drone. Alright, okay. And I got a little ahead of myself. What do you have the 8 key rebound to? Shift Q. I use grid. No, what? But and Shift W. No. The 8 key. The control group. Yes, those are that. Okay. Well, what is your 1 key? Okay. Alright. Well, we'll see. Why are you gonna go this far? Walk up the fucking ramp, you stupid coward. You went this far. You forgot the drone was chasing the SCV all the way to his base. You walk up the ramp, you see the expansion. You're here. You made it this far. Like, I don't think drone scouting is necessary or preferable, but since the drone's there... Okay, so this is when you'd build another overlord. So I thought he got supply blocked because of like Reaper micro or Zergling micro. No. No.
He tried when I was about Well, go ahead, try a turn. Tina, why are you groaning? You're doing fine. Tina, relax. Easy. Okay. Tina, you're kind of headed toward the only other car in the lot. You have plenty of time to turn, Tina, so just go ahead. Turn one way or the other. You're just swerving back and forth.
Okay, I need to address this. I get a third, maybe a little late vibe build. Could you? I will give you your money back, and I will give you $15 if you can link me a vibe build where Vibe has 800 minerals, gets supply blocked on 36, and gets his third a minute late. If you can link me that, and I can be like, look, Vibe's guides are actually useless, misleading people and resulting in this disaster, then sure, like, maybe I can drive some more advertising to mine. But you know what? Vibe's taken enough of my ladder points. I think it's very likely he doesn't do that, and instead, you're incompetent in trying to use him as a scapegoat, even though all you did was gloss over it like some sort of BuzzFeed title that is AI generated. Except if it was AI generated, well, AI stands for artificial intelligence, and you're lacking at least one of those things. Anyways, where were we?
About your age. Relax, easy. Okay. Tina, you're kind of headed toward the only other car in the lot. You have plenty of time to turn, Tina, so just go ahead. Turn one way or the other. You're just swerving back and forth. Turn one way and stick with it, Tina. Tina, for the love of God! Turn away or stop! The brakes, Tina, on the left! You're about to hit that car! The brakes! Hit the brakes! Oh my God, it's bad.
Okay, so not a perfect analogy. I just use that whenever I can because it's fucking hilarious. But like, you can't just get every part. Like, it's not a build order stew. You can't just throw everything in and be like, look, I'm doing Vibe's roach build. That's not how it works. Yes, you got an Evo chamber and a roach warren. The spine crawler for some unknowable reason. You're literally seeing him expand right now. Like, you've been sitting here with 350 minerals, 250 gas. Zerg is supposed, especially against a Terran who doesn't expand early, the Zerg should have a pretty significant drone lead, but you're over here defending against it. Oh yeah, and I quote, I make 2 queens and then I make more, don't worry. Well, here's the thing. You could, for some fucking incompetent reason, you have enough money to make 2 more queens right now. And if you were making 2 more queens, then you know what? I wouldn't be as disappointed in you as I am. But unfortunately, you're meeting my expectations once again. Welcome to Platinum. Have a nice rest of your life. One more queen. Like, what is gonna attack? What's attacking you? What are you scared of? What is the point of scouting? Why did you scout? What is scouting for? This is not a rhetorical question, because when you scouted, you saw a barracks with a tech lab. Does a barracks with a tech lab scream Hellions into your ear? Is that what it does? Is that what a barracks with a tech lab says to you? That's weird. It says different things to me. I guess it's like one of those, depends on how you look. It's one of those fucking mind trick puzzles that people argue about on Twitter for weeks. I had no idea what he was doing. I have no idea what you're doing. It says tank. What it says is you worry about your own goddamn business, because any motherfucker who's building a tech lab on a barracks doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. So don't worry about him. Worry about you.
One in just donated $15. Playing Chivalry.
I'm excited to see what the reaction to there being an expansion and a bunker is going to be. By the way, that orbital that he doesn't have. Okay, so you see an expansion and a bunker, and you're like, roaches. I make 6 roaches and drones, I think. Maybe. Here you go. Thinking again. No, what you make is 4 roaches, 1 drone, and then run headlong into another supply block.
I have your attention.
Timber 1 in is now chilling.
Like, and this isn't like I'm a little supply blocked. This is a hard, strong, like, you know what? Maybe he needs another year in the 3rd grade kind of supply block. You're over here scouting your opponent when you can't even manage to look at the top right of your own goddamn screen. Both players are supply blocked. They're at least, well, the Terran is building a depot at least. Who knows where, but like, at least he's trying. I think here's my recommendation for you already, by the way. Sorry. Don't scout for 10 games. No more scout. Okay. If I didn't even think. This has inspired Twitch chat. Keep your eyes open and your brains closed because we're going to be doing some polls that you'll lose. But, like, if I was going to do a Twitch chat poll where I'm like, what do you guys think is going to happen next? Does he, 1, build a lair? 2, get a 3rd. 3, get unsupply blocked. 4, move his fucking spore over to where the fuck ever for some sort of a change of scenery. Then we all would have lost. All right? Like, there were so many options of things you could do that were not ideal. But this was like another order of magnitude. Like, just the fact that the spore crawler is moving. 1, the spore crawler exists, which is okay. Like, fine. But the fact that that spore crawler is essentially at any point, not even now, but like at any point, this spore crawler is being microed in any fashion. If we're not down to a Wampy level economy right now, if we're not down to 0 mining, and you're moving your... Explain this. Explain to me why I shouldn't turn this replay off right now and tell you to go focus on the first 5 minutes of your game. How many times do I have to say? I need like a soundboard of myself saying... Until at least High Diamond, and High Diamond is a little optimistic, until at least High Diamond, not all games are decided in the first 5 minutes. Not all games are decided in the first 5 minutes, but about 95% of them could be. And you know fucking why? Because if either of these players knew how to, 1, make an orbital, 2, not get supply blocked, they'd now be like 30 supply ahead, 4 minutes in, 40 minutes, 4 minutes in. Dark gets 70 drones in 5 minutes. We're right now at 37 microing a spore. When the drone dies, I thought I heard him pick up into a medevac. Excuse me, what? 1, you probably heard him load into a bunker. And 2, I want to stab you in the eardrums. Unrelated. Somewhat related. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh my god, it's beautiful though. Thank you for that. I'm glad you're... Thank you for the honesty. It kills him when he tries to drop my main. What if he, like, tries to drop your mineral line instead of making a beeline in a sideways path from this angle? Like, what if he, like, tries to drop any part of your base that's valuable as opposed to the edge of your creep at this angle? Like, even if for some reason we're playing a MOBA and we're playing random base defender and your unit is spore crawler, which it can be, by the way, it's actually quite good. This is still... Oh. Wow.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid. It hurts so
like,
much.
I mentioned, I ineloquently described my satisfaction with people. Now, I'd rather people pretend to have watched my guides and my builds and my explanations and then butcher them like this. Because, of course, they would have clicked on my videos, liked and subscribed, all that. But I'm glad to see it wasn't me specifically that was the problem. Just good to have that at least. It's a client side issue, if you will. All my IT professionals out there will know. Probably better than me what I'm talking about. I like how obviously we're basing so much of the game plan off the drone that shouldn't have been there, thinking that it heard a medevac that doesn't exist, loading up to drop an area that is one of like 4 different places it could effectively drop. Like, most of the last 30 seconds has been countering literally your fucking imagination. This looks like a late vibe build. Yes, alright, alright. Let's see. Does it? What does this look like then?
General rule for gas geysers?
What is this?
For
What is this?
30 to
I'm
40
sorry.
I'm a little late on that, but usually you can get away with going...
Does this look? This is a very different build with very different units.
New subscriber detected.
over the
Sushi Ooms is chillin' for 6 months.
thing
Why?
quite as important, but for Zerg, I think using camera location.
That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I can't believe that guy would copy Vibe Zerg build of going roaches with +1 in speed.
Mutation complete. Brood under attack. Panic time.
Okay. If you touch this spore crawler again, I'm turning the fucking replay off. 2, I like how obvious, like, it's such a very simple, visceral response here. It's almost like Platinum Zergs mostly have limited sentience. Sentience being like a self-awareness, an ability to like kind of plan ahead and work towards long-term goals. Like object permanence is required, understanding like the cause and effect of things, and how certain actions and reactions play out over time. But here, let's watch.
Mutation done. You can run faster and stronger to your death. The enemy is attacking.
Ah! A Viking! From where? Behind me! Viking?
Your swarm.
What do we need? Overlord speed! Oh, run away! Yeah, it's a little fucking late for that. We need an Overlord speed for what? To counter the Viking, of course.
The swarm.
And what
is
else?
threatened.
Oh no, a Viking. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, the spore. The spore. Yes. Move the spore. Like, I was about to insult chimpanzees. But I won't. Don't need to bring that comparison in.
You engage the enemy. On purpose?
What have the chimpanzees ever done? They'd probably be better at Starcraft.
Evolution complete.
You need to just worry about... Literally, the only thing that's happened this game is a metaphorical scout from both sides and a Viking. Nothing else has happened. The Terran has lost 0 units, and the Zerg has lost 2 overlords and a drone. It's been 7 fucking minutes. Nothing has happened, yet we're so far off. Like, only now are we finally getting back towards some semblance of a decent build. Only past the point you could have easily been maxed out.
Your swarm is now bigger and broodier.
Okay, so it's mech.
All done evolving. For now, mutation finished.
Yeah, first Terran wave should be hitting right now, but no. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you are talking about. You have no idea what the Terran's doing until now. Only we just found out. And another point, it doesn't matter. It's like, the Terran should have attacked, but both of them should have punched each other in the face by now if they had any semblance of competence. But you can't just throw that out there like, yeah, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sit the fuck down, okay?
Yeah. Mineral field to your Zerg have evolved.
The 7-minute Terran attack. Time it. What the fuck is that?
New subscriber detected.
Matchmaking
Animal
works.
14 is chilling for 16 months.
Could you guys fight each other at some point? Well, max out at 10 minutes, like 3 minutes late. This is the better version. Like, there are two types of Platinum Zerg. Platinum Zerg is essentially like a whole genre in and of itself. More than most, it's like Diamond, well, actually nowadays it's like Plat Diamond Terrans. Terrans are no longer as homogenous on that. But there are two types. There's the one who has no plan at the start, panics when they see anything, and will just keep building Zerglings. Like, they'll keep finding creative ways to lose Zerglings. And then two is the I took 3 tequila shots and also some hallucinogens at the start of the game, and now I'm finally, magically, after only 10 minutes, starting to sober up and remember what I'm supposed to be fucking doing.
Mineral patches
And you do know what you're supposed to be doing. You just
gone.
are taking
And
your
it's not
sweet... Like, I once again stress, the Terran has lost 0 units this game, yet we have spent a non-zero amount of time microing spores. Nothing has happened, yet we have microed spore crawlers.
Your brood
Evolution
is under attack.
complete.
Brood under attack.
Okay, like... I do appreciate the macro over micro.
You took all the minerals.
That
cluster,
it's
you
fine. Like, it's not good,
A mineral field has
but
been
it's
depleted.
fine.
Mined out of that cluster. And still in the game? Nice.
Vipers are the correct choice. Just keep bludgeoning him.
You're all mined out of that mineral field. The enemy is attacking your swarm. Mineral field base under attack. Did you build it all in the
Your
main
brood's
again?
stronger now.
You, on the other hand, mined out of that custom. And still in the game? Nice.
Like, there's a
You're all mined
limit.
out of that mineral field.
Like 7 Vipers. Not 2, like 7 Vipers. So that way, when you
Your extractor
inevitably
is
lose 2 or 3...
Only across mineral.
Evolution complete.
A mineral field has been depleted.
we both know you don't have the micro for 2 Vipers. 2 Vipers are if you're hard pressed and you're out of money, not like I can build 36 more Hydralisks on command. Like, this part is... I appreciate the commitment here. You need to not skip the first 5 minutes of the fucking build. Whether it's mine or Vibe's essentially identical one, because we both know how incompetent Zergs are in the early game and they need direction, but they don't take it anyways. You need to not skip too like, oh, Roach Hydra Viper, yes, yes. Like, no. The first 5 minutes are more important than this part. Oh, they're not. That's not true. But it makes everything a lot easier if the Terran isn't also maxed out by the time you get here.
Mutation complete.
My suggestion, no Vipers. Thank you for your suggestion. Fuck off.
Your base is under attack. You took all the minerals.
Are you not using steel hotkeys for your control groups? Instead of just using normal, you are using steel, then why do you have Vipers on 2 control groups? Steeled as default, not as an additional action, by the way. Just replacing control groups with steel, so that way when you make a control group of Vipers, it takes them off the group of Roach Hydra, so that way you don't keep trying to micro all your units back and then the Vipers go into it.
That cluster, you thief.
Is this Winter's Artosis in person? I've been doing Angry Coach since Artosis finally started selling out as a streamer. Okay, Artosis didn't stream for most of a decade. I've been here doing this for half of one at least. And then he finally realizes that he can unleash his inner 14-year-old and the internet will lap it up like a particularly edgy series of bitches. Well, sure. If that's copyright infringement, you know what? Fair. But here we are.
Mutation finished. Yeah. Mineral patch is gone, and it's not coming back. Mineral field depleted. You took all the minerals from that cluster, you thief.
There is no scenario where you're going to be going mutas. It has to be broods.
A mineral.
I don't know if there's a greater spire here.
Mineral patch is gone. And it's
You know how many mutas it takes to kill a Thor with upgrades? The answer is don't find out. Stay Viper or go Brood? Why not? ¿Por qué no los dos?
Base under attack. You're all mined out of that one. You engage the enemy. Mined out of that cluster. Your Zerg have evolved. Nice.
Like, why not? The only way to keep your broods alive against Thors is really Vipers. Thor's 1v1 brood's pretty easy until the Thors can't see anything.
Extractor depleted. Mineral field. Brood under attack. Base under assault. Panic time. Brendan.
But the actual answer was not taking so long to have like 5 Vipers and not committing 100% to the I just need to A-move mentality, because he has about the most anti-A-move composition you need. You took 3 extra minutes to get where you could have easily gotten, and then Roach Hydra Viper's perfectly fine, but like 2 Vipers is not enough Vipers. It's like when you say you have chicken noodle soup, but you got the cheap-ass chicken noodle soup, which is like 94% sodium, 5% noodles, and also a piece of what they're calling chicken. That's your Vipers here. 5, 6 Vipers with full energy, their entire army gonna need their eyes checked. As long as you're... And also those steel keys are important so you don't just lose them to Thors or trip over your units. It got better. The first few minutes were a disaster. If you didn't skip over the build or zone out while watching, then I'd be surprised, even if you think you didn't.
Spaghetti _ just donated $15. Started playing SC2 recently at Bronze 2 and got gold
a
today.
B-.
Mostly watched your and Vibes videos. In the Blue Zerg.
Because the first 5 minutes were a disaster. The last 10 weren't terrible. You just need to get there way quicker. And you like, literally nothing happened for 10 minutes. Nothing happened. Everything that happened was in your own head. Literally nothing died outside of a drone and 2 overlords. I just ballsed it. I'll practice more. That's a fucking B- and get out of my house. Come back next week. Two weeks, whatever. I unfortunately have to give that an all right. Next is Tuba of Charm. We finally have Helichaz. Helichaz, would you like to draw attention to yourself? It's your time to draw attention. You've been trying, I know. But now's the time, if there's anything, throwing that out there. So this is like definitely diamond. He says, if you win, you'll be happy. If you lose, you'll become a balance whiner. Socrates was the writing with this. Thank you. Good night. I said out! I assume he was a random who told his race or something. Or that was very passive-aggressive. I don't know. Because the countdown chat doesn't show up in the replay. He said GLHF and you said thanks. Okay. That's a bit of a dick move. It's one of those many, like, you can tell you're not in Masters when... Another staple is you two.
Command center upgrade complete.
Alright, well, actually got out with the Reaper without losing any time. Well, besides the bunker. Okay.
Add-on complete.
So once again, racial stereotypes hold true. We have just a couple hundred MMR off our last player. The Zerg player who, quote, ballsed his build for the first 5 minutes, which I don't know exactly what he means, but I think we get the gist. Here we have a very particular... This is a build order.
Command center up.
This is Hellion into Raven opener, right? With essentially no early pressure, unless maybe a Widowmine drop.
Complete.
Yeah. Like, the fact I can recognize it, we've been over this, like... So the issue with Terrans who have a build order is not... The Zergs are way too flexible. Like, at some point, you need to have some sort of... You need to calm down and figure it out. Terran players need to realize that sometimes your build order doesn't stack up with the game, and you need to adjust in some way, shape, or form. Not that often at this level. It's not really that often, but like occasionally you'll have to, you know, not make a Raven if he's got a bunch of units in your base or something. But that's not the case here. Nothing's happening besides that SCV hiding behind the factory and being idle. Like it's perfectly fine. Or gate blank. I mean, so the entire point of the Hellion, I think we went over this last time. The point of this Hellion is to just run through into his base and see what he's doing. Like, it's not to bolster the defenses. The point of the Hellion is to scout. Because early on, Protoss actually has kind of minimal ways to deal with the Hellion. How many times do you see that Hellion just run in? And sometimes it's not for damage, but occasionally it kills probes. It also helps against an Adept or two early. But, like, the reason that you can know potentially it's blank is because the Hellion is supposed to go fucking scout. Like, it's a little late. It's a little fucking late for that. Okay? You need to be... Now is the time. It's a little late. There's a prism.
Add-on complete.
Oh my...
We're fucked, crew! Command is drunk again!
So this is the difference, right? Like, this is the difference between the Terrans and the Zergs. The Zergs have imagined this attack and have already pre-over-countered it. Like, he has a prism outside your base. That's not super all-in, but, like, PvP, like, the first 5 minutes of Protoss versus Protoss is built around keeping Adepts out of your base. Terrans are the only race that can kind of do it by default. Yeah, you can't. This can't happen. Like, you have the depots are right there. At some point, you had every you saw where they were. They went all the. Let's follow this journey again. Like, you have essentially the entire Adeption. You see it from nearly start to finish.
Add-on complete.
Yeah, the point is I've been watching your camera. I've been watching you watch the Adepts. Like, okay, like they're right there. We're building NG base. I don't know what we're doing now. We're building it like, no. They're not, like, hidden. They're not very subtle. So, 2 Adepts against Terran, not that huge a deal. But the point is, this is a completely unforced error here. This is like, you can't let the Adepts in. You just can't. There's no other response here besides you can't do this. That's unacceptable. And now all the no, you can't also just, like, if you're gonna send your, oh my, and this is why, like, now this is a fucking disaster. Oh my god. Winter complains about overreaction, but this is too much underreaction, I think. Congratulations! You've listened for any part of the last 3 minutes for once. Even though it's heavily implied you actually didn't.
Commander Casks is chilling for 34 months.
Thank you, Commander.
Happy to be here in the wild, and I'm glad to chill to this again. Cheers, Winter.
Under attack.
Like, No, no, you can't let the adepts just kill all your... Okay, you need to...
Your forces are under attack.
Like, your build is fine. For once, the build is fine. But, like...
Force is under attack.
You can't let... That adept has 5... You can't lose 10 SCVs to adepts that just went by you. And
Base
counting.
is under attack.
Like, this is absolutely and totally unacceptable. I know you win this game because your ego wouldn't let you send in a loss, but, like... there's no way. You're not going to move. If the Protoss was able to, you know, like, build a single probe while doing any of this, and eventually you might go on a slight win streak and find one of those beautiful Protosses who hotkeyed their Nexus. Yeah, you can't, no. I want to just turn it off. Because until you can stop 2 adepts from killing over a dozen SCVs, 2 adepts, there was nothing else going on besides 2. Like,
Base is under
we knew you were slow, but we still decided that you were worth having. But here we are.
Upgrade complete.
Oh, have you tried mech? Like, 15 SCVs to 2 adepts. That is... Ta-da, we learned. Oh my god. How much is required for 2 adepts? The answer is 2 depots. The correct answer was 2 depots. We're like, but what if the adepts get in anyways? The adepts should never get in like that. Never. And if you're too slow to raise the depots, you will not get to Masters. It's just not going to happen. There is no build order solution for that. Like, if you're too slow to raise depots and then you lose 15 SCVs to the 2 adepts because you were too slow to raise depots, sure, you might win some games, but it's like there is a point where it's too slow.
Your forces are under attack.
Or play Protoss. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Bob.
Your forces are under attack.
What do you think? Like, now this is, like, we could have seen this one coming. The saving grace here is that, much like the last game, well, this time there's actually a real and present threat. Having a solid build with good infrastructure makes up for a whole lot of damage. Like, having 3 CCs and getting upgrades will make up for losing 15 SCVs. But, like, the point is that we could have all of the same things and 15 more SCVs, and all it would cost is raising the depot. I have no real complaint about the rest of the build. It's like, if there was no opponent in the game, which apparently we're pretending is the case, like, the build's solid. Be even more solid with 15 more SCVs.
Your forces are under attack.
You know, here's the secret. When you lose 15 SCVs, you don't feel obligated to take your third as quickly. So that way you can feel safe in your main behind your tanks. It's really an emotional thing.
Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted. Your forces under mineral field depleted. Add-on.
I don't even mind the turrets. I mean, I would build more depots than turrets, but like, +2. The priority is probably more starports, but whatever. I mean, look at the supply. Well, there's one thing. I'm gonna give Helichaz 1 point here. So, even more simple than raising the depots against adepts. What is it? What should be here that is not here? Liberators? No. Ghosts? No. Battle cruisers? Good guess. No. Okay, how much HP do Marines have, motherfuckers? Did you say 45? That doesn't seem like a lot, does it? When you have 39 Marines, would it having 390 more HP of Marines? You think that would be good? Alright. Did I really? I give getting combat shields in a timely... Less than 2/3 of games do I see diamond players get combat shields in a timely manner. Many games, they just don't get it at all. And then they're like, I don't know how to deal with splash damage. These Colossi just kill all my Marines because I stim twice and then they die in one hit. Yeah. Maybe, like, having the most effective HP upgrade in the entire fucking game would help. It is more important than having +3 armor. It is both cheaper and more effective than all of the armor upgrades combined. But here we are. There are exceptions to that rule against certain units, but the major factor is you can stim and not be within death range of either friendly fire from siege tanks, a single Colossus hit, Banelings. Like, this is number 2 of unacceptable things that will keep you from ever improving. Like, your build is pretty perfect. But it's like saying, you know, I think the Mona Lisa is a masterpiece. I just wish he filled in the eyes.
Are under attack. Upgrade complete.
This is just, like, you just don't see it. It's pretty obvious when you don't have it as well. Like, that your Marines don't have a combat shield. I do like how we came into this, if you guys were paying attention to the chat. Helichaz is like, I need to learn how to micro ghosts. I mean, that would help. You know it would help more? All your Marines having over 20% more HP.
Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete.
You spent $15 for me to tell you, don't let adepts in your base, and also use combat shield. Congratulations.
Upgrade complete.
Well, there goes them. Thankfully, tanks are good. There go the Marines. Do Terrans ever put NG Bay Armory and Tech Labs on a hotkey to check upgrades? possible. Here does. No. The way you check upgrades is to click on the fucking unit and see what upgrade you have. I don't mean to research upgrades. Perfectly fine. You can put on the hotkey with the CC, all that. But, like, click on your unit. Oh, 2-2. Okay. What does he have? 2-0. Alright. Decent fight. I mean, my Marines will probably die because I don't have combat shield, but, like... so... These are mistakes you cannot make. These are very easy mistakes to not make. Like, raise the depots and get combat shields. Once again, we have to have a boring-ass B. Because the macro was pretty great, the build was solid, but, like... I don't know. That's like storming D-Day, coming home, and as your child runs up to you and you grab them in your arms, you tear your ACL. I'm gonna put Terran at 17%. That's the number I plugged it into the number generator, and that's what I got. I have way too many replays. Oh, do we have Swiftest? Did Swiftest Daddy ever figure out what he's doing with his life? Swiftest Daddy sent in $30 but couldn't figure out how to link a replay. Which is, like, pretty standard, right? For those of you who work with a more client-facing business, you'll realize it's not the ones who are paying minimum price. I did a $2... Oh, are you... I'm sorry, Swiftest Daddy, or should I say Jack? What do you mean, what, Daddy? Because all I have is a $2 donation from, quote-unquote, Jack. Unrelated? Is the link right? I mean, okay, I'll check. We'll look. I'm raising the price is now $25. We have way too many. All right. It's like 7 of them now. Okay, Swift Daddy, aka Jack, is a advanced platinum Zerg. Let's see if we have some more commentary with this one. I believe we do. Some of these are from today, some are against my brother. Some are against my father. Neither of those are this one. So, let's get this. His SC2 replay stats name is Swift Daddy. His in-game name is Gary. Gary? Are we watching Gary here? Yes, I'm Gary. Okay, Gary. Here we are. Jack is Gary, Gary is Daddy, Daddy is Jack. Get it through your head. Come on. Alright. Wait, whose are these? Okay. So this is ZVZ, Zerg versus Zerg. We're pretending to be in Diamond. So explain to me where your overlords are supposed to go in Zerg versus Zerg. I changed my name to Gary when I started playing random to be troll-like. Because for some reason, Gary is more trolly than Swift Daddy. Thank you, Alchemy Gun. Which is just an interesting play. Okay, no. We're talking about why this Overlord is headed to a random direction. Went well with the console. Okay, alright. It's like, I've done that Overlord path thing since 2012! It sits on the edge of the main. Alright. Why? Explain why to me. So I can send it into C-Tech. Alright, thank you. So what happens? So now what happens, pray tell? So this Overlord, like, there was almost a saving grace, and like, this Overlord was going to sit at the front, because now both players, they can build queens, they can build Zerglings early, right? So there's limited anti-air, which means Overlords are able to kind of roam freely, unlike other matchups. So what is stopping Mr. Opponent, Mr. Blue Zerg over here? What if he just builds, I don't know, 20 Zerglings and attacks? What if he does that? Then what? When will you see those 20 Zerglings? I sent Zerglings across. No. He can build Zerglings at the same time. So, like, if you see his Zerglings at the same time, and he built more Zerglings... Okay, like, it's not getting... He couldn't figure out how to send a fucking replay in for double price, okay, guys? Like, it's an advanced Platinum. It's a classic Zerg. Like, I Zerg rushed my way out of Platinum. Congratulations on that. And I've peaked. Alright, if Coach just put those Zerglings in fourth quarter, then we would have gone to regionals. But here we are. Scouting with Overlords like it's ZVT and fucking Wings of Liberty. Dying to Zergling rushes, not understanding why. The only reason you don't die to Zergling rushes is because your opponents are as incompetent as you are. Like, this is wrong. This isn't even attempting to follow a guide. It's literally attempting to follow nostalgia, essentially. Every part of it is wrong. The explanation is mostly wrong. The ideas are incredibly outdated at best. It's just wrong. So, but I just wanted to get clarification on whether it was wrong because of ignorance or whether it was wrong because of active incompetence. And it's the second one, so credit to you. So, I'm going to start answering my own questions just to save some embarrassment. So, when does a queen come out? When do you think your opponent's queen is going to come out of the hatchery? Well, the answer would be when your queen comes out, because it's a fucking ZVZ, he can build a queen at the same fucking time. I know that's a lot of math to figure out, but surprise, surprise, he also has a queen. He also has Overlord, so if we try to hide on the little pervert pillar here, Overlords give high ground vision. You could figure this out if you looked at your fucking Overlord. So great job on that. Now, of course, the opponent also doesn't really understand the logistics of that, and that's why you're both terrible. Here we are.
You engage the enemy. On purpose?
So the summary is here. If this was Cyril versus Raynor, which we are several times over the MMR below it, if Raynor or Cyril made the mistake of sending their OV in a way like this, 100% the Lings are coming. So how would you see? I quote, I send Lings across. There is nothing stopping Doomby over here from making 20 more Lings. Right fucking now. Sending them across the map. The only defense would be a couple Banelings you pray hit. You just lose. This is why so many people think Ling Bane is like a coin flip phase of the game, because they're blind. If you just put your Overlord here, this covers this angle and scouts for a third, another Overlord here. Congratulations, you now have vision of all the places Zerglings can rush into your base, so that way when you fuck up the Baneling micro, at least you have time to contemplate it. You could learn this skill by watching any number greater than 0 ZVZs in the last 3 years. In fact, I think I've casted a dozen Zerg versus Zergs on this map, let alone played, but that would take any sort of critical thinking or intellectual curiosity, and you're already playing Advanced Platinum Zerg, so I don't want to ask too much.
Your brood is under attack.
Like, the Overlords are not a super micro-intensive creature. It's not hard to follow. Even Cyril's Overlords still move at the same speed. Nobody gets Overlord speed that early. Like, you might not be able to follow anything else, but you can follow the Ovies. That's about your speed. Literally the slowest unit in the game. Why did you kill it? What is this? A fucking peace agreement? Man, you really don't like Ovies? Stop projecting. Actually, no, you do seem to like Ovies. I'll give you that. Mostly your enemies. Also, like, now this sounds like a crazy strat. What if he makes roaches? Like, we're now investing in half a dozen Banelings. Over 100 gas of Banelings, let alone the Baneling nest. What if he just made roaches? I know, it sounds like a crazy strat in ZVZ, but he did. He's not doing that. But it's not like we have any fucking idea of what he's doing. All we know is that he's Zerg. Almost literally nothing else. We know he has 3 bases, which doesn't say much either. Maybe it leans towards Zerglings, but that would take any sort of, like, critical thinking. Mostly what I think here we have is, I'll just send an attack. That's as far as we've thought. Neither side has particularly much economy, and now they're going to drool all over each other until someone has even more brain damage.
Evolution complete.
Micro. Did you not get fucking Zergling speed? Fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. I thought the other guy's Zergling speed was finishing. Get the fuck out of here. Shame on you.
Shame. Shame.
Like, I was willing to let
Shame.
it go and see what happens, but that's an active attack. Besides the lack of any semblance of intent on improving, like, that's worse than the combat shields. I'll do better next time. I believe that you think so. I believe we already did this game. That was the failed replay send-in. So was that. We got Laser Cat. Do we actually have... My first Angry Coach was in Gold League in 2019. Now we're playing GMs. You see, yada yada yada. Laser Cat is Master. I think that's Master 1. Our first Protoss today will rise above the pack. Oh yeah, getting kind of dunked on here. But it looks like there will be actually something to learn. I want to know how to stop taking such bad trades versus the 3-1-1. Well, let's see. I'm sorry. I gotta reset for a sec. Do you stream in 4K? No. Loco invented 4K, and he hasn't released the technology to anyone else yet, so... As we know. Also, coincidentally, his MMR. Laser Cat, are you here? I need to know before I start doing open-ended questions. Hi. Okay. Is that the highest? We've had some GMs. Some people send my replays in on either side of the story. So, I assume, well, you say the 3-1-1. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say there probably aren't too many early game issues. If you don't do any pressure early, you can't miss a beat with the build. Like, you got to just rush to Colossus. It looks like you go Colossus, so. But I like doing the DT drops. DTs are stupid. I don't like that they work, but just the existence of DTs does so much. It's almost better if they see the Dark Shrine, is another part of it.
Warriors are under attack.
Like, just the seeing the Dark Shrine and then just moving on with your life. But we will see. Do you not build a battery in the main? I see no reason not to have the battery. Otherwise, you can't send your Adept out without risking the Reaper doing actual damage. Especially if you're going to build a Sentry second. Did we confirm it's not going to be a Reaper? Did you see a Marine first? I did not notice. I'm going back. Yes, details matter here. The early game in PvT really sets a lot. Oh yeah, you saw Marine. Okay, never mind. I kind of zoned out of that. I think that's kind of unnecessary, this stage. Also, if you're going to put it here, have it be part of a wall off against Hellions. As opposed to just kind of jamming it. Like, if he went Marine first, it's not like... Unless he's proxying a factory, there's nothing coming. It's kind of a waste of time to be building the battery so early. And if you're going to build the battery, at least part of the wall against Hellions can make it easier. 2-gate blink? You're leaving it way too much up to Widow Mines here. But this is just, it's opinion. I will say it's opinion. I do not like standard builds like this. I don't, both pro games and for myself. A solid Terran will just hit you too hard, like what you're saying. And you're putting it up to, like, you lose seven probes to a Widow Mine. Good luck. It doesn't feel like it has enough potential. Like, you can't make any... It's good if you play near perfect. Probably better than most.
Your research is complete. May it serve you
But
well.
one Widow Mine... Okay. Let's see if you realize the implication here. So, it's a super obvious Widow Mine drop here. Also, you didn't start... Did you build the... Was it intentional to build the Robo before the third? Because, one, it could be like Armory Widow Mine drop, which is bad, but also... It's a lot of hard choices up against this, because you know it's going to be very likely Widow Mine drop. But at the same time, so just scout the back. Scout the back. If there's going to be an armory, you look around, look for an NG bay. Occasionally you'll find something. Seeing the NG bay timing, and if it's upgrading, well, usually wouldn't be upgrading at this stage. But you cover your bases. Like, what are you going to do with this hallucinated Phoenix?
The enemy has engaged your forces. Unleash the fury of the Daylong.
I have the Robo in time for Armory Mines here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You actually, like, this is the ideal scenario. Right now. No. If he's on 2 base, he didn't have a 3rd CC. You go Robo Bay before Forge. You don't need upgrades as much as you need either Colossus, or if you're going to go charge, going charge. But Colossi are, even against Ravens,
Confusion with that.
Colossi with a couple shield batteries are a lot more reliable than charge lots against 8. Because you're just not going to have the economy to challenge him. He's going to have a lot of bio. Heads up, in a heads-up fight, you're going to lose. Because the bio army is just better. And yes, interference matrix, that's how you got to play it. Actively, you got to be up there forcing either out interference matrix, forcing out siege ups. But I think the Robo Bay play is definitely more reliable than trying to go charge lots. It's kind of implied you're going charge lots by the Forge.
Your research has completed.
Oh, if you're gonna go, like, this is a mistake. You need to set up your next level of tech here. Before you do any silly blink micro, that you know is almost certainly not going to be a lot of damage, this is the time when you need to get your next, like, I say for diamond players, just getting your first level of tech on time, that's a struggle. When you move past that, it's your second layer. It's your splash damage or your Twilight follow-up, which is a lot of gateways like charge lots and archons, or it's Robo Bay for Colossi, or maybe Disruptor, usually Colossi. So here, instead of adding charge or Robo Bay or enough pylons to not really be supply blocked or more gates, we're about to start blink microing. These like 20-30 seconds are very important. Go charge lots to defend and drop the Robo Bay and 2 gas signs, see 3rd CC. It seems too greedy to get Colossi that early unless it's before my 3rd. That's the point though. Like, that Colossi are more reliable. That's what I've seen in my experience and in pro games Charge lots. The only person I've seen go charge lots against Bio is Haz. Yesterday, casting Haz games was the first time I've seen someone go charge lots off of Blink in, like, months. It's kind of been phased out because Terrans have just... Well, one, if they realize that's what you're doing, they can pull the voice, for one. Two, charge lots are more of a known quantity. Like a Colossus, sure, they have the Raven, but you can maybe snipe the Raven, you can draw out the interference matrices. And in general, they get stronger over time, whereas charge lots, you rely on overwhelming them. So, I'm not saying charge lots can't work, especially since this isn't a pro game, obviously. But, we'll start charge then. Like, like you now have 350 gas, 400 minerals, 0 charge being researched.
Numbers alone.
Building you're trying to build an immortal while supply block before starting charge. No. Okay, so well, this is a very Haz build, which is just forgetting charge for like 30 seconds and then getting it and putting yourself in an awkward spot. So here's the ideal scenario. Is you move out, is when he moves out, you can move in with like 4 charge lots to his natural. Or, ideally, a Warp Prism to the main. If you can do that, it's not necessarily going to do a lot of damage, but anything that can bring his attention away from the fight. Because you know these sweaty-ass Terrans are staring down their stutter step timings, like, you just need to get them to look away for a couple seconds, and that's how Terrans lose games.
Engage the enemy. Let your blade...
It's pretty obvious what's happening here. Stop probes. No more probes. 6 gates is not enough if all you're going for is gateway units. 8 gates, 10 gates. We're done with probes until the attack is decided. Like 56 to 60 probes is max.
It's burned bright.
And you need to be warping in on cooldown, like warp in 2-3 more sentries. 1 sentry doesn't cut it. Like, you warp in sentries as soon as possible, so that way you've already spent the gas and they build up energy. And now, more gates. Do I go in with the Stalkers? And he's halfway across the map, we're about to... No, the Stalkers should be sitting here. The Stalkers should be on his front porch. Why not? Why can't your Stalkers sit in front of his base? Why are they coming home? Why are your Stalkers... What are they defending? The Stalkers sit on his porch. You might lose one if you're not paying attention or something, but, like... You can't just let him walk out. You need to make him fight for every step. If you're gonna play like this, you might get lucky and snipe the Raven. At the very least, you know when he's moving out. He should have been, but if I want to counterattack... You don't want to counterattack with Stalkers. You don't want to counterattack with Stalkers. The Stalkers are delaying, and then they fight with the army. The counterattack is charge lots. You don't want to be wasting gas, and you need the Stalkers potentially just to have something to snipe stuff. Stalkers are not a counterattack unit. Especially not if you don't have like 350 APM of efficient micro. Yeah, those 3 charge lots that were warped in should have been sentries. Look at the gas. Look at the gas. Once you have 2 or 3 sentries, you have Guardian Shields and Force Fields. Guardian Shields are required. Guardian Shields are more important than Force Field, but if you can have both, that's ideal. Because Force Fields keep him from coming up the ramp. He gets a little eager, you cut off some units. That warp-in really needed to be sentries. Because you know what this is now. You know what's happening. He's gonna, in about a minute, a little under a minute, he's gonna move out with 2 medevacs. He's got Combat Shield +1 and Stim. It's all coming together. Usually 7 minutes, actually a little on the late side. So you need to be ready before that, so that way you can be out on the map and make it so he can't just siege up on your front door. I go by the feel of how many gates I have too often. Here's the number. Pretty much going off Zest and Trout. 50 probes is 8 gates, or 60 probes is 10. Pretty religiously, you'll see them. At that number, stop probes, build gates, and not build probes again until those gates are building. Okay, so I get the idea with this sentry. This needs to stop. Go build a pylon out here. One, you're going to be supply blocked. But you already have... You need... The sentries are... If you're going to just play Gateway, you need sentries. Guardian Shield is better than having 2 armor upgrades. Guardian Shield is +2 armor for all the units in the radius. On top of whatever armor upgrade you have. It's a huge fucking deal. And also shields, by the way. Because it affects every ranged attack. Of which Terran... All but SCVs have ranged attack. Like... Would you rather have +2 armor and shields for your whole army or not? Yeah, that's a bit late.
The enemy has engaged your forces. Unleash the fury of the day.
Get out there. No. You saw. Did you not see it? You got to Masters 1 without the minimap DLC? Did you not see where his army was? Like, and it's not like you have an observer. You get attacked. He's coming right through the center.
Attack.
And then immediately you waste your energy on, like, your 1 sentry with Guardian Shield. You waste your energy. You know where he is. He's out here. You could win this fight once. Well, if charge was done, say, I don't know, 20 seconds earlier. Like, you were over 20 seconds late on charge. The only reason you didn't have charge 20 seconds earlier is because you didn't click the button. You had the money. It wasn't upgrading Blink. Charge could be done right now. Not that there are that many zealots. But right now, charge could be done. He is moving out before his upgrades, which is what you should do as Terran. But he doesn't want to fight you right now. If you could be out here, going back and forth, buying time... Who does time benefit in this scenario? He's on 2 bases. His upgrades are peaking in 20 seconds. You have 20 more workers. You have 3 bases. Every warp-in tilts the game more towards you. So, not only do you need those sentries earlier, but you need to not forget charge. The gateway's on time. You don't need probes right now. But also, you need to, you gotta see it. Like, this army, you're acting like you don't know where that army is. This hallucinated Phoenix, right here, that wastes your Guardian Shield. This tells me you don't know where the army is.
Upgrade complete.
Like,
your forces grow more powerful.
You cannot let him be here. That isn't even that scary of an army. It's about to become a lot scarier, but... Especially playing it with charge... The idea with charge lots is to overwhelm him. With Colossi, you can probably play a little more defensive, because over time, getting more Colossi is great for you. But with charge lots, you want to catch him before he gets entrenched. Now we got Widow Mines, okay... You've handed him the best fight he could possibly have. Terrans are doing inappropriate things to themselves over this fight. You have no Guardian Shield. Your entire army's about to get anti-armor missiled. You didn't even try to challenge him on the map. He's going to be attacking literally the second that Stim and +1 are done. He didn't want to fight before that. But you've set him up for... As much, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, it feels like. I could tell you the best build and you could execute it to perfection, but you have backed yourself into the... it doesn't get better for Terran here. He's got his tank set up, perfect anti-armor missile, Widow Mines, Stim, sharpest possible timing. Literally the entire army. I've never seen this happen. I've never seen every single unit of any sort of even medium-sized army. Usually at least there's a couple. The entire fucking army. This is match fixing right here. You can't get any better. Your charge lots are stuck behind. Oh my god. I don't, like, there's no solving this. I could tell you, like, Colossi maybe are better, charge lots will work. Sure, both are true. And even if your timings are slightly off, okay. But between the fact that you somehow didn't seem to see him moving through the center of the map, on top of just backing yourself into a corner, like, you saw him building this army, and I think you're like, well, I guess I'm dead. And you're really making it come true now. I don't have anything for this. Like, you can't just show up like this. It's unacceptable. So, even with shield battery overcharge, like,
Let your blade burn bright. The enemy has engaged your force.
Guardian Shield now and Warpins now. You have at least 4 Warpins. You have the money.
Unleash the fury.
No, what the fuck? You think you're holding this? What is this? You're over here fighting with tickle beams. Why are you building assimilators? Why is that the priority? There is no...
Mineral field exhausted.
It really feels more like a panic reaction than a... If you said, oh, I was confident I'd clean up the army, you weren't fucking confident you clean up the army. What is this? Are those full? No, but full enough. You had all the units you needed to stop this attack before it started. But you kind of just sat in the corner, let yourself get anti-armor missiled. And now everything's dying. Maybe he'll wait 3 minutes. It's not the Colossi are the problem. It's not even the charge lots that are the problem. You have to keep this army from just walking up to your base. And you made no effort at all. You drained your sentry energy scouting for the army you should have known was already there. And then you just sat there. You can't just sit there. That's it. Like, you have to get out there.
Do not let this transgression.
Like, the Blink Stalkers aren't for counterattacking. The Blink Stalkers should have been sitting on his porch, heckling him until he comes out of his base. And they should have continued those strong words across the map as you blink back in a panic, but at least knowing where his army is. And then, before he's able to get his tank in a disgusting position and drop an anti-armor missile on the entirety of your army, you should be trying to at least push him back with force field, threaten to fight, force him to siege up his tanks, but none of that happened.
Your warriors are under attack. The enemy is assaulting your nexus point.
I'm like, why are you not dead? You're pretty dead. I'm actually surprised. If he sent those drops into his main army, he probably would have won there. But he tried to get fancy. No, rebuild. You need to have 1 sentry with every army. We're not in the kitty leagues anymore. Guardian Shield is one of the most effective abilities in the entire game. 1 Guardian Shield negates more damage than half a dozen Templar can do with Storm, depending on the army, of course. But every one of the Marine bullets and Marauder grenades is reduced by 2 on all of the units they hit. That can mean hundreds of damage a second.
You've gathered all available minerals from a cluster.
Because Guardian Shield counter anti-armor missile, it is irrelevant. It still gives you the same benefit even if you're anti-armor missile. It doesn't block it, but it still gives you the +2 armor and shields. You know, I should phrase that like that. I think that would get through to people better. Guardian Shield is +2 armor and shields against ranged attacks. That's what it is, for all the units in the radius. Guardian Shield still works on enemy units inside the shield. Yes. I thought you meant it works for the enemy. It doesn't work for the enemy. But if the units are inside the Guardian Shield, it's essentially an aura. It's not a bubble. Just treat it like an aura. All the units in range take less damage from ranged attacks.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Let your blade...
This Guardian Shield works on anything in the aura, including air.
burn bright. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Let your blades burn bright. You've depleted a mineral. Research complete.
Yeah, you can't be playing defense against Terran. Unless you have the Death Ball and are comfortable with your upgrades, you can't just be sitting. That was an attempt at the charge lat counter, but like you're gonna get picked apart.
Your warriors are under attack.
It's all kind of too little too late here. Well, it's not necessarily too late. Terrans, I know from experience on both sides of the story, Terrans can still throw from here. Oh yeah. He's at, like, look. He's at 1-1, just starting his armory. This guy's a GM Terran. Like, Clem is gospel. And Clem doesn't believe in making a game go past 1-1. So actually...
David, all available minerals.
So would you say that the charge lots or the Colossi doing better? Well, both of them together doing the best. But... Is it over? Yeah. Like, you had the pieces there, too. Like, the blink was fine, the charge was okay, the upgrades were decent, but, like, you gotta get up in his grill. How many hotkeys are we using? Are we pretending to use more than one? Eh. Like, you gotta have Guardian Shield, and the best defense is a good offense. Like, you know all these things. I assume you got this far. I don't know what happened. Explain to me what happened here. Did you just miss it? Because it seemed like that army showed up out of nowhere. You were acting like you didn't know which direction the army was coming from, and that confused me very much. Because if like, you literally just didn't know, the hallucination was to see a run-by, I would worry about, like, the main army before I worried about a run-by. So that's just terrible priorities. Like, that... Kill the army. That's his army. He's not going to split it into pieces. When was the last time? Do people do run-bys with that attack? With that timing that relies on everything coming to... You've scouted the timing. You know what it is. It's a 3-1-1. Do people just decide, like, half the army's going to go to the natural? That's not a thing that happens. Alright? I'll push up the lower ramp. Either way, you should have been out here. It doesn't matter where he's pushing. You know, you can stop both of those if you're sitting here and not here. If you're sitting here with 4 sentries and any amount of force field, makes it a little harder to come through the rocks. Yeah, if he gets by the sentries, you're in trouble, but, like, that's how Protoss works. Protoss, you need all the pieces together most of the time. But if you do have them, it feels kind of somewhat broken to the other race. Yes, he had a real sharp timing with good execution, but you know better than that. As Master 1, like, that's a C+. You've got all the pieces, but, like, it's Master 1 to GM, so there's a lot of work to be done. Is it possible I die if he has stim when I do that? If he does that on a map, but there's not a super easy sentry wall? Well, each map has its own places. Like, let's start with getting charge on time and not letting the entire army get anti-armor missiled. Let's start from there and then worry about whether or not force fields work. It is just entirely unacceptable to sit at your third and the entire army to get Dorito dusted. That's just, it cannot happen like that. You deserve to lose after that. Captain Hanukkah. Wait, first is... Where did it go? Kybrit. Kybrit has scrounged together enough of the family estate for another replay. I think the biggest thing, Laser Cat, that will lead into actually like defending it more actively is parking the stalkers at the front. There was no reason to bring the stalkers back. If you're gonna do a blink build, then use the blink. Kybrit says, I dig Kybrit's 113 build. Kybrit, nobody cares. Some people care. It's actually very sad to me. Like, Kybrit spends a lot of money to show us these aggressively mediocre games, and because he has that money, people are like, wow, he's famous, and that's how the world works. So we'll probably see a bunch of nothing, and then battle cruisers, and then the game ends. The 113 build is now a 1-Rax expand. At least, thank you. I doubt it's intentional, but if it is, well, there you go. What have we said before? Started. All right. Not that Kybrit has any intentions of improving, but yada, yada, yada. In the game, I decided to go Terran. I'll rally my SCV, JK, no I don't, to the depot early. When do I build it? 3 at my, no, just 1 depot 14, right off the bat, rally your SCV and build it at the ramp, and that's all you see. Don't do any sort of weird bullshit. Build a barracks after, on 16, adding another worker. 17 refinery, 2 more SCVs, you can rally to the scout at 18. But nothing past that. The barracks is finished. Build your orbital. That's all we want. No Reaper for you, just build Marine. And your fucking orbital. I don't want to see another fucking Terran who comes in here with no fucking orbital. Scan like Costco. Drop those mules. Either way, build a fucking orbital. Stop. Stop it. Never again. And also your first depot, but whatever. That too. I'm not a rapper. So, what's the takeaway from that one? Oh, there we go. Not build an orbital after another Marine and a command center. It's after the barracks is done. You build an orbital. For those interested in improving. None of the people in the game right now, likely.
The other guy is attacking you. That command center upgrade you ordered is here.
Very loud.
Those explosions you hear, that's your base being flattened.
So you remember when I said, like, whenever you see, especially in Platinum, a Terran, get a barracks with a tech lab first, that they're incompetent, and they have no idea what their real plan is, and it's just kind of a catch-all for the wide array of builds that don't make any sense if you know anything about how to play StarCraft. That's still true.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but the base is being attacked. Add-on is done. Doesn't that look fancy? You've built a fancy...
We're gonna have stim for all 5 of our Terran Republic commando units.
...your command center. The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not to build some.
Sorry, TB. Jeez. Okay, we're just gonna get the variety pack here. We're getting +1 attack. Okay.
Your research is
yada
done.
yada yada.
Upgrades add-on is done. Doesn't that look fun? Research is done. Let's hope you click the right one. The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not. Research complete. Add-on complete.
Mech weapons only affect ground vehicles, once again, for people who are looking to actually improve. They do not affect starport units. Plating affects both flavors of mech, but weapons upgrades are split.
That command center upgrade you ordered is here. Drop everything! Your units are getting killed! Mineral field depleted. Upgrades done. Out of minerals. Idle workers are so untidy.
So, as we know, the 113 build is build a barracks, a command center, a factory, build an engineering bay, get all the upgrades, start building turrets, then build 3 starports, then an armory, and now some more wrecks. And also a third... Yes, okay. And then Thor's.
Add-on mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete. I remember when this was all minerals. Now,
I do appreciate the commitment by not hotkeying any buildings besides orbitals and starports. Like, despite most of our supply being in non-starport units, we're still just making that process as inefficient as possible, which just really summarizes the overall game plan.
look at it. Upgrade's done. You are fresh out of minerals at that base. Out of minerals. Idle workers are so untidy. Your research is done. Don't forget the rest of them. That's huge. Wow, your army has encountered the enemy. Research is done. Let's hope you click the right one. Your base is under attack. We're all gonna die. Upgrade complete. With your base burning to the ground part of the plan, you're engaging the opponent. That geyser is done. Your workers have lost their purpose in life. Upgrade's done. That geyser is fresh out of gas.
×8 is the fastest speed.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already? Geyser empty. Time to move to your expansion. You are
Always
fresh out of
annoys me.
minerals at that base. Upgrade your forces are taking damage.
Alright. Next up is Captain Hanukkah. I'm shit at ZVZ and ZVT. Please help. What is this? This is games per day. Oh, this graph looks very dramatic. It goes from 9 games to 7 over 2 days. Which is a dramatic drop. Platinum Zerg. I mean, I guess we'll look at Z. There's a 30-minute ZVZ. I don't know if I have the sanity for that. Here we go. 10. Well, we'll look at how this goes. This Maru food. That's an interesting one. That looks good. We'll see how we manage to lose the game that hard so quickly. I need to go to bed. Can we do mine next? Poor build order planning is definitely much of the issue in Angry Coach, but on the bright side, there are VODs. And they're open to everyone. I mean, did I fail my donation? No, you failed in having patience. Alright, so, Mr. Hanukkah. This is the one where I just kind of die. So let's talk about overlords. Remember how Zerg players just don't have a plan and then it gets worse? So what's up? What is the plan for your overlords here? Your second overlord. One, we're drone scouting a minute into the game. What the fuck is that? 2, your overlords are just not bothering. I usually send my second to my nat. But not always. Just whenever you feel like it, I guess. Alright, so he does not have a barracks in his base, but that's because we're 1 minute in.
The enemy is attacking your...
Well, there goes the drone. Yeah, that was a barracks. So the barracks looks like. So yeah, like, you should... I'm not gonna bother. This is literally the 3rd Zerg in a row who I'm like, what are you doing with your overlords? And they're like, I don't fucking know. So, figure it out. I'm done. Or they say they have a plan and the plan is worse. Like, I think it's worse to have a plan and that plan being actively terrible than just not have one at all. But it kind of depends. It's usually one or the other. Alright. So, we got all this gas. And then we got a roach one. And now we're getting Zergling speed. Because the key to Zergling speed is getting it slowly, so that way they won't expect it. Right? Wrong. This is the part where you tell me it's a vibe build, by the way. This is where you say, I'm just doing vibes build. Which there's been some very creative impressions, and that is by far way too generous. I don't watch him. Well, maybe you should.
The swarm is threatened. Evolution complete.
I mean, he's using my announcer pack. Getting +1 with roaches is not a particularly crazy, ingenious, and original strategy. So, only because we've actually made it to 40 drones. First OV here, second OV, like, anywhere useful. Don't drone scout at the beginning of the game. Even if you saw something worth scouting, it's not worth it. Like, we got 40 drones in less than 5 minutes. It's... Is that 2 bunkers? It's not... It's workable. Seems to be only us Zergs who mention vibe. Well, it's the Zerg players who are willing to commit. Like, no, and also Protoss. Rarely Terrans. Not because Terrans don't watch Vibe or me, but because the Terrans are, like, getting a fucking master's degree in never getting to masters. They spend more time writing down the build and, like, having the exact build order than actually playing the game. So, for better or worse, are less likely to credit someone they know they aren't doing justice to. Whereas Zerg players are like, one time I jerked off to a Vibe video, so does that count as a build order? It's like, who hasn't?
All done evolving. For now, anyway. Your swarm is now bigger. Mineral field depleted. Base under attack. Mutation.
Okay, you see that micro there? Don't.
Evolution complete.
Do we have... There's... Oh, we got the Hydra upgrades. Like, this is...
You're all mined out.
So we're doing okay. No, we're not doing okay. Actually, that was a lot of drones to lose. It's 8.5 minutes, and we're at 44. No, that base should not have died. Why am I looking at Maru food over here?
Your brood's stronger now.
Like, the map is dark and full of Terrans. There is no vision. You just lost the third to a tank push that showed up with less than 0 warning. And we have made 0 effort to prevent that from happening again. Now, I'm not huge on worrying too much about your opponent. But at the same time, what's stopping him from walking up into the exact same location? On the other hand,
a mineral field.
Now we've moved slightly more. There you go.
Your brood is under attack.
Oh wait. So, he's got way more shit because you lost way too much, and your macro was terrible. I will say, this dude definitely had a solid enough build, but it's 10 minutes in. Like, but all races can be maxed out by 10 minutes easily. This is just another, like, none of the Zergs well, some of the Zergs have been actively terrible, but this is another, like, you need to work the first like, 5 minutes out. The first 5 minutes, get 3 bases, get 50 drones, figure out where not 1, but maybe 2 overlords go. You can't just lose your third to an attack. Roach Hydra is okay, but not with worse upgrades in a bad position. And then we're just dead. You've got the general tree, like you're stumbling in the right direction with the Roach Hydra. And then eventually Viper, but you just can't lose your third like that. Along with all the drones as well. Like, I usually use Ling Bane against Terrans. Well, I think it was more about losing the third base for nearly free than it was about the unit composition. But stop drone scouting, figure out OVs, 50 drones and 3 bases. 50 drones by 5 minutes and 3 bases by 3 minutes. These are all incredibly realistic things. They are not nearly as difficult as they seem. That is the baseline. Because I figured I needed splash. No, you needed, like, to not lose your fucking bird. Stop thinking. Just get all those things. It'll make it a lot easier to stumble your way into a victory. That was aggressively mediocre. It's a C+ because... No, he was thinking. Like, drone scouting already indicates that, one, like, what is the best case scenario of a drone scout? What is the best case? I'm gonna give it an all right because you've got the very general direction, but what is the best case? You're like, well, I see he's proxying, but do you trust yourself in knowing the correct response? Like, do you trust yourself to respond to a proxy Rex that you know is coming better than you don't? Like, I would say the vast majority, at least 3/4 below diamond. Even if you figured out somehow magically exactly what they were... If 3/4 of players below diamond had map hacks, it would hurt them and not help them in the long run. Obviously, it would hurt them in that having map hacks is not a good thing to do. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of helping them win the game, I think maybe 2/3, maybe up to 3/4. Having map hacks would hurt more than help. Because more shit counters less shit. And the more you're worrying about your opponent, the less you're worrying about yourself. You see, your brother knew that all along. Why can't you be more like it? Why can't you be more like him? We got that. We got Bronze Knee. We got Widowmaker. So Bronze Knee actually does end up being the next one. I was fully willing to. Because if I started doing like, I'm actually sleeping soon. No, that's not how it fucking works. And then Widowmaker, and then DJ Merlin, and then Upsetty Spaghetti. And that's it for now. You could skip him. It wasn't an unreasonable request, and it wasn't made poorly. I'm not just gonna skip him just to be a dick. I'm only a dick if it's justified. And I determine what's justified. I think that was a B-. That's cool for you. I've subscribed longer than any of these clowns, so I deserve priority. I also don't build more SCVs than the number of months subscribed. Alright, so Widowmaker is going to be first. Alright, thank you for making it easier. Now I get a justification. Congratulations, Widowmaker. Are you a Terran, Bronze Knee? Of course you are. Anyways, quick advertisement. And we'll be right back. Hey, everybody! Have you heard of Amazon Prime? Don't lie. Don't lie to me. We both know you have. But you may... It's unlikely, but you may not have heard of Prime Gaming. Did you know if you have Amazon Prime, you can... With 2 quick licks on your smart refrigerator, you can connect it with Twitch and get Prime Gaming. Because when Amazon takes over the internet, gaming is going to be an important way to quell the masses. I mean, for everyone to be entertained. Go to gaming.amazon.com. Gaming.amazon.com. You can find all the exciting things you love for all the shitty mobile games you can't stop playing. Magic Tiles 3 one-day VIP pass. Yes, Magic Tiles 3. The first 2 Magic Tiles didn't do it for you? Well, congratulations. You get 1 day. 1 day VIP. Let's not get crazy here. 1 day. How about Sea of Thieves? This is a cannon. You guys like cannons? Fucking Sea of Thieves. I think it's still like $60. It's ridiculous. But also you get whatever the fuck that is. But wait, there's more. Did you know that every single month for free. You can subscribe to a streamer of your choice here on Twitch. Even me, and every single month, every single moment. Don't think about it, just do it, because every single second that you're not subscribing right here, right now, you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming, because remember, on top of all the loot, on top of supporting your favorite streamers, or at least streamers you are watching, because there's not many streamers on at this time, so I guess I'll watch him, even though I'm not really a huge fan, but like, why not? Anyways, doing all that, but wait, remember, with Amazon Prime, we know where you live. Thank you for watching, good luck, have fun.
New subscriber detected.
Thank you guys for sticking around.
Skimgasu is chillin' for 2 months. Kek.
Oh, a follower.
Canadian Frost.
Is that all?
As well.
Canadian Frost Zero is chilling for 37 months. This is totally Prime Gaming sub.
Shotgun. Zerg.
New subscriber detected.
Cloning Wanning is chillin' for 4 months.
Second pylon. Is it early? Is it on time? Is it late? This is Diamond. Protoss. Be right back one moment.
I got a pickup and a Protoss, and I'm bringing them home to you. Shovel. Bucket. You. I got a shovel and a bucket, and I'm bringing them home to you.
Carrier has arrived.
And his name is John C. Stop in the ring and put boots down. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? And I'm bringing them home to you. Protoss, pickup, shovel, bucket, boots, socks, salsa, chips, whiskey, coke, candy, flowers, headstone.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Gran Turismo is now chilling.
And I'm bringing them home to you. Hey, grab your Zerg and beat him in the head. If you don't like biscuits, be your cornbread. Zerg's always slam about half grown. Jump on a man like a dog on a bone. Like a dog on a bone. Gonna be a hood ornament in a second. Stay roller. Kick off your shoes. Stay a while. Take your coat off. Take your socks off. Hang your head up. Get you something to eat.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Wanderer 13 is now chilling.
Shotgun. Zerg. You got a Zerg and a shotgun, and I'm bringing them home to you. Pick up Protoss. You. I got a pickup and a Protoss. shovel, bucket, you. I got a shovel and a bucket, and I'm bringing them home to you. Boots, socks, you. I got
Donation confirmed.
boots and socks.
Justafan just donated $35. Can you angry coach one of your games that you think would be interesting to see and dissect? As in not in a self-deprecating way but legitimately a coaching review?
Protoss, pickup, shovel, bucket, boots, socks, salsa, chips, whiskey, coke, candy, flowers, headstone, grave. I got a Zerg and shotgun, and I'm bringing them home to you.
If Twitch chat, I should have added, if Twitch chat is right. 5 subs to the people. So the beauty of this is it's on the screen. It's not late, it's on time, or it's early. Second pylon comes in around 1:30, 1 minute. You can see there's no supply block. So, good job, Twitch chat. Moving on.
Stay a while. Take your coat off. Take your socks off. Hang your head up.
Always fun to see if people are using their eyes. It may be, like, that does leave the opportunity to be early, but it's certainly not late. Always like to leave, you know, like, all I ask is people try to see what information is directly in front of them and use that, which is a lot to ask. Where's my... So it was two... I mean, there are minor potential exceptions, but it's unlikely. Can you angry coach one of your own games? You think it would be interesting to see and dissect? Not in a self-deprecating way, but legitimately a coaching review. I'm sorry, you want me to angry coach, but not in a self-deprecating way. If I remember when we get to it, we'll take a look. From Just a Fan. Not sure that's... I don't think that's how you walled up. Not 100%. It doesn't look right. Not sure what the shield battery is. That's just not a good spot. Like... If it is an all-in, that shield battery should be closer to where the pylon is. But, like, 2 out of 3 times at least, it's not going to be an issue because there's not going to be some super all-in. This map actually is a smaller wall, so you can't use the standard 3-building wall, assuming I think most, at least Diamond Protoss, know what that is and still fuck it up half the time, but at least have the idea. So it is a bit awkward.
Research complete.
Alright. Just straight up third after the Void Ray. Not sure what that probe was doing. Robo Bay. Why Robo Bay? Like, I was on board with the Robo. With the Forge. Is okay. What year? Tell me first. Tell me what year it is. And then explain to me why that's a Robo Bay. I've dropped, like, I've got fiber internet now. I've dropped 0 frames. The stream delay should be, like, less than 5 seconds if you're on a browser. I do early voids to bait Hydra. You can't make one Void Ray, dangle it out there, and be like, now he'll go Hydra. Can you tell me, Widowmaker, once again, what year is it? And 2, what is the most common build in ZVP for the Zerg player? What is the most common build in well, we'll have to base it on pro games. Like, the #1 build right now. And it's not even really close. Okay, I'm answering. I don't know why his stream delay is so long. Refresh the stream. Roach Queen Walk. Yes, it is. So, what if he's not doing that? Like, this is just a game filled with, but he didn't do that, so. Just going straight into Colossus is asking for trouble. Like, you go Void Rays, it doesn't bait Hydras in a competent player. It baits a dozen queens coming across the map to send you a very angry letter. And also queens counter Colossi, because Colossi are so tall. And they don't do extra damage to queens either. So what you're really doing against a mildly competent player is baiting him to counter you. But, of course, many times you will just get away with it. And many times they'll just go Hydras anyways. Especially at this level when players, like, for all the players who make it past the advanced platinum barrier, like the players who actually have a build order instead of some amalgamation of leftover stew in like 3K to 4K MMR, like those Zerg players, they'll still go Hydras. Like, that's the big issue for the players who even do know that they shouldn't be randomly building spores and microing them. They don't build enough queens. So you will get away with this, and in fact, I think at this exact level, like mid-diamond, this is fine. But there's a reason you don't see it in higher level games, and that's because it just dies. You have 3 gateways, and you've spent like 500 gas on tech. All of the tech gets countered by queens. A dozen queens could potentially, probably not win the game, not with the static defense there, but a dozen queens and a couple dozen roaches easily could walk across and win the game. Thankfully, nobody feels comfortable committing to that, so, like, I'm telling you the weaknesses of this style. Another weakness is not using hotkeys. Why is that a weakness? I ask again, why is that a weakness? Like, we're not even pretending to... We don't even have... Because I can't react to Ling. There we go. More like you can't even have a... Well, not even your mother could block this gap here. But if you had built the wall correctly with a space for, like, an adept, you still wouldn't have an adept there because your only hotkey is F2. Or whatever you've re-hotkeyed it as if you're very fancy. Like... So we've now brought the Observer, the Void Rays, all of the Zealots, the Adepts, and all the stock. Like, this is just... It's painful to watch. You're essentially capping yourself out at a certain level. You can get very good. You can do well with F2, all right? Loco's been GM before. But at some point, you need to be able to have units in not just one place at one time. Especially as Protoss, like, your army needs to be together in the right spot. And if 8 lings can draw you out of position, if 8 lings can draw 2,100 minerals and 850 gas of units into your natural, you know, I know this sounds crazy. He's also very likely using the same amount of hotkeys. Hey, it looks like he does have a hotkey. How crazy. But, like, I know, this thought experiment here. What if he had 8 lings in your natural and then attacked your third? Sun Tzu would be just beside himself with that sort of strategy. How many, you built 2 Colossi. Just build units. You're out here with the entire tech tree, the Yggdrasil of fucking Protoss. Just build units. We got RoboBay, we got Templar Archives, we got Upgrade, we have Stargate. Like... I don't necessarily mind it, but you're doing all this before all the gateways are coming up. Oh my god. There go those probes. Okay, the probe count's still healthy enough. I like how no attempt... Here was the admission. Okay, maybe another cannon. What about a unit at the... Oh, that'd be way too different. What about a probe at the watchtower? Probes don't get caught by the Selecta army hockey. There you go. Patrol the probe so that way it's not an idle worker either. If you patrol it, it doesn't show up as an idle worker. Like a very small patrol. If you're busy trying to figure out how to run on crutches, might as well get good at it. Didn't even know they had watchtowers. I need to manage my expectations more, I think. Unfortunately, I'm an optimistic person. I don't know why.
Upgrade complete.
Oh my god. Thankfully, he's using the same hotkeys you are. Which is going to work out for you. Yeah. This is essentially who can throw themselves onto the other person's sword more quickly. Beautifully done. Looks like the Zerg's going to take this round. I actually just tore my Achilles, so I'm on crutches. I can't tell if that's a metaphor, but either way, it should be. Well, I mean, there is a cap to where you can get with Selecta Army, but it's pretty high. And if you're willing to just lose some games to people who've learned multiple control group or even just not spamming Selecta Army technology, you'll still probably win most. It's a B. It's another mediocre game. Mid-diamond. Like, you'll keep winning. The focus on economy was good. The upgrades were good. The probe count was good. The micro was bad, but that's fine because you did all the other things. No, that's a, like, I'm gonna use Selecta Army Hockey and you can't stop me. I'm not gonna try. Like, I don't have an easy way around it as well. That's a, like, you can, I think, easily masters if you understand when to A-move and when not. Things like, you can shore up things like not having units in the wall by just building more cannons. There you go. Is it efficient? No. Is it effective? Marginally. Oh, we had Bronze Knee. Yeah. Against Barcode. Bronze Knee. A Diamond Terran. I forgot here. We skipped around on it. Up against a Diamond Barcode, which is just the... that is, disgusting. All right. Two gas. Okay.
Our base is under attack.
Using the Nova announcer, which is a choice.
Command center has been upgraded.
It's like Diva for people who are pretending they're not weebs.
Add-on is up and running.
Ah, yes, the metaphorical bunker here. Like, with this bunker gives you all the vulnerability of defending an expansion without actually having an expansion. I don't know if this is a mind game. I guess maybe. Not that we should be thinking, but like he already sees the factory, so. If the Protoss... Now, I'm not going to give the Protoss much credit. He likely doesn't know very well what he's looking at. But... yeah, this just... doesn't feel like a good build. Feels like that bunker is a waste of time and money that could be used towards actually expanding. Now it feels even worse. Yeah, this is just a bad build. Like, the bunker is like trying to do expanding. So why are you building the bunker, Bronze? I thought you had taken a breather, taken a nap like the SCV that's now dead for no reason.
This is under attack.
Is this a mind game, or is there another reason we're going to get supply blocked on 31?
Our base is under attack.
Alright. Like, you can't get supply blocked when doing a one base. You can. It just significantly decreases the likelihood. This is my style. Oh, okay. It's bad. This is... usually when I see something like this, the factory and or starport are proxied, so that way you can attack in a timely manner. I mean, it might work. I'm just kind of gambling it all out there and hoping he didn't figure out it's one base. Occasionally, I bet the bunker makes Protoss reflexively think there's an expansion, even if everything their eyes are telling them means there isn't. They never know it's one base. Citation needed. Are you wasting your minerals? So why are we building turrets in the main? Why are we spending any number of minerals while not building anything out of the factory or starport in the main? You're like, what if Phoenixes come and pick up my SCVs? Well, amazing! Okay, that means the Phoenixes aren't at the front and you can go win the fucking game. If his phoenixes are not here, then you can go in. If his build is phoenixes, all he has, and in fact, right now, you probably, if you committed, could win the game. Because he went 3 Nexus for some fucking reason. You might be, you're right. I don't think he knew it was 1 base. So, act like you're 1 basing now. Unfortunately, what this means is we need to build turrets across the whole map. Alright, so my recommendation is when you're doing an attack, is to build units to reinforce your attack. Something I do at Diamond. Yes, everything you're doing here is something you do at Diamond. Like, by definition. Any minute now. We're gonna get that tank push going. Oh my.
Our base is under attack.
I have to defend the outpost. Alright, so is this when we transition into the just, like, commentary aspect instead of... The thing is, going for the 3rd means the Protoss should lose to a 1 base. Like, you shouldn't be able to go 3 Nexi and defend 1 base. No matter how long it takes the 1 base to happen.
Our forces have engaged.
Well, actually, it does matter how long. Like, within a reasonable amount of time. You've spent 800 extra minerals on expansions.
Our forces have opened fire. Our base is under attack.
Unfortunately, we... Okay, and I quote from Bronze Knee, I have to defend the outpost. When did that cease being true? So we just kind of entirely abandoned it now. It was never... Well, it looks pretty fucking undefended to me. Now we're back in the bunkers, but it's taking way too long. Like... This actually wasn't a bad 1 base. It was, like, these are the right units. They took a while to come together. It wasn't a super clean execution. But they're all here. But... There's no follow-up. So... Taking your time... Isn't... Like, does he have another base? Yes. Because this is taking, like, 3 years. Okay, it's not the Battle of the Bulge. The time is of the essence.
Mineral our base, our forces have engaged.
Protoss real struggle. Oh dear.
Our forces have opened fire. Our forces have left in that mineral cluster.
It's kind of... I mean, I don't know. You ask me and I say, don't do this build. But if you're gonna do the build... I don't know. I never do builds like this because they feel fragile and gimmicky at best. So, they can work if the Protoss continues to trickle in a few units at a time to an entrenched position. Unfortunately, Protoss units are very good as well.
Our forces have opened fire. forces have engaged the enemy.
Like, we're 12 minutes in, and still one base. Even in Wings of Liberty, this would be pretty late for a one base. Is there another Nexus out there somewhere? No, there isn't. The drama, the excitement, that's all we have left in this one. No. You float your base over when it's out of minerals, obviously.
Completely mined out a mineral field.
This is like a Silver League reflex. I have minerals, let's build some depots. We're not supply blocked. Depots cost as much as bunkers. And you don't get refunds, like... So...
Forces have opened fire. Mineral field depleted.
Oh, it's one SCV that's qualified to build those depots. This is when, like, he's mining. He's mining on 2 bases. No, you can't just sit here. You've let him survive. It's like every stupid fucking movie where they don't actually kill the villain. You're monologuing. Stop monologuing. He's still mining. He's not dead. He has a Nexus. Yes, a lot of probes died, but not the Nexus. Like, he's sawing through his handcuffs with, the thing you didn't search him for, which was Archons. Archon saw through a lot of handcuffs very quickly.
We're done with the... Our fleet is under attack.
And...
Our forces have opened fire.
Oh, Cloaked Banshees are quite a interesting twist here. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? Oh, now we're attacked. You could have attacked the main anytime in the last 10 minutes, and it would have been the right choice. Only now.
Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack. Our base is under attack.
Oh my god. What? Why are you leaving? You... Why did you leave? You've got 300 minerals banked up here. You can kill all of his mining. He has an Archon at 1 HP. Like, he has no money. Your Cloaked Banshee can win the game. You win the game with a Cloaked Banshee. Here's what happens. Here's what happens. You sell the bunkers, you build another Banshee, and then you win the game with Cloak. Because he doesn't have any detection powered. And he doesn't have any minerals. You can float a barracks. Or a factory. I think the barracks is dead. This is a fucking Terran. This is the most diamond Terran. No, it's my style. My style is doing a shitty tank push that's 8 years out of date. So slowly, I lose to someone who had not a third but a fourth base. Eventually making an epic, drawn-out match that I leave right before I can win. But this is one of the most Terran games I have ever seen. I will admit, this is a demoralizing scenario. The Archon probably does kill the Orbital. And there are no more... There are 3 SCVs, and they're in the... What the fuck? Is there any more detection? There's no detection. There's no detection, and without mining, there's no possibility of it. The Cloaked Banshee wins the game. It's a bit of an awkward chess match. Oh. He does. But the point... I will give it the probes here. Well, actually, no. The probe, you just fucking kill the probes of the Banshee. What am I saying? I don't know why we decided... Like, you were doing fine with the Liberators. I don't know why Cloaked Banshees were suddenly the choice. Like, the Liberators were doing fine. And then I'm like... And then you decided to tech switch on one base into Cloaked Banshees. Like, I want to make this interesting.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Negative 17%. What do I get? What is that? Mid-diamond?
Oh, a follower.
C-. I would have believed Plat.
Dan is chilling for 29 months.
I would have believed Plat. The only thing that kind of gives away it might be a little higher level is the micro wasn't terrible for what it was. The decision-making was very bad, but that's just across the board. A C- means would have believed Plat. Maybe next season. $15 well spent because I missed the darn Banshee. If that's the takeaway... We got another Diamond Terran! DJ Merlin. Playing chivalry, he says with this. I don't know what that means. That was the message. DJ Merlin has been crushing it. So let's watch him against Maru. Ah, yes, the War of the Supply Block. Where am I? Upsetty Spaghetti is next, but after this disaster. Oh no, yeah. I finished the Wings of Liberty campaign. My favorite unit is the Banshee. Is it good in PvP? You can't make Banshees in PvP. That's Protoss. Protoss don't have starports. They have stargates. I'm sure this is the real Maru, which is why it was such a tough loss here. PvP is in player versus player? No.
Command center upgrade.
Are we missing something? Are you gonna go CC before Starport? Do you want to die to 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions?
Your add-on has been constructed. Add-on finished up. You picked that one? You engage the enemy.
Yes, that's a yes then. You should know better than this. I don't know why you should know, but like... 3 Reapers and 2 Helmet, especially if you don't really have a scout. This is the standard opener. Almost everyone does this if they're not 1 Rex expanding. If you go for 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion, then there's just a wide open timing when you don't have units to deal with this, and you get pretty far behind. You probably won't lose, but it certainly doesn't help.
Your base is under assault.
But it's obviously already not great to be down. Wait, are we ahead on SCVs? Oh, yeah, the opponent is Diamond. Which means he did not build SCVs during this because he was microing. So I guess that's a plus. I was running a TVP build from Uthermal, and chat said it worked fine in TVT. I can't tell if I respect you more or less for saying those words out loud. Like, I respect the honesty, but you know what you said, right? Like, you understand the words. Like, this is one of those builds. One of those diamond builds. Like, in diamond, it'll work fine, like, half the time. Why? Because half the time the other player's also doing a shitty build that they don't, like, that chat said works in TVT. They're doing a build that can't punish it because they're also incompetent. But the other half the time, well, here we are. Now, Maru over here, no relation, is also incompetent. Like, his build is terrible, but at least he got 3 Hellions and 2 Reapers. And that, like, that is your baseline in this matchup. Jimmy! Have you not seen my TVT build? Come on. Follow me on Twitter for more build orders.
Oh, good. Now I have your attention.
Hokaboos is chilling for 64 months.
You have 1 sentence to explain yourself. At this point, I said, fuck it. This is... How much, like, these Terrans, though. You're winning, by the way. Despite your best efforts, you're winning this game. Why? Because your opponent is just as incompetent, but in different ways. Maru over there didn't build any SCVs. He's got an NG Bay for no reason. He's all over the place. All he had was 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. That's all he did right. He did everything else wrong. So, like, just because you lost 1 SCV and a couple Reapers doesn't mean to throw the game plan out the fucking window. Because you know what counters battlecruisers in this matchup? Almost everything. Cyclones, Ravens, Vikings. The only thing that doesn't counter is Marines.
Add-on is good to go. CC upgraded, but at what cost?
Shoot your own, or what happened there?
Your army is under...
Oh, we're going for Yamato. Like, what? Oh, yeah, he sent in the account. I'll give him this. He sent in his account. I'm done with this one. I will look at one of your wins. This is not worth furthering. Because, don't do that. Here. Like, don't do that. Wrong. Moving on.
Oh, here we go again.
There you go. And this is why we SCV scout.
Your command center? Better than ever.
No SCV! Very sad. So what's the key information here? What is the information you got that you should be respecting? Not the Zerglings. Oh my god, he's so bad. Such a platinum Zerg. Well, you saw the guess, so that's the point. There you go. No. Are you insane? What the fuck are you doing? Sit back down. What the? Do you like losing games? Why?
Forces under attack.
If you actually paid attention to what you scouted, you would have seen he had gas, which means he could have had Zergling speed finishing. Which means he could have run up the ramp, and you could have lost the game. At that timing. Yes. There was about a 10-second window you left him to just win the game. There's no reason you needed to do that. You haven't even put an add-on on any of these. There was no purpose in that. Like, I get you're thinking forward, but let's think about now.
The boys are next.
You're even on the side of the map that the add-ons can be placed on the inside. So, like... Well, at least you're giving him another shot there. Oh my god. Like... You want to hand him some more chances? I do this. I do this a lot. It hurts me. I'm always like, and now he's gonna No, he's not gonna fucking macro. Like, come on. This isn't Cyril. What is his follow-up? It's another couple dozen lings. Yeah. On top of the fact we're microing with one Reaper instead of building more Hellions and Reapers so we can lose them to Speedlings.
Army under attack.
Oh, now you have no units. Well, there goes the Reaper.
To win.
Okay. I want to point out right now, if he... Like, he should, once again, another Diamond Terran that deserves to lose. He has a Baneling Nest done. You handed him all of your units. If he just built the Banelings to break the wall right now, he could get in your base, no problem. This is a win. You've handed it to him. You've given him multiple courses of victory here. All he has to do is eat it. But, fortunately for you, this is who you're playing ranked matchmaking against.
Oh,
and I would say matchmaking works quite well.
H4 Day 97 is chilling for 1
Thank you,
month.
Hades.
Your add-on is all done. Your add-on has been constructed. CC upgrade done.
We see the Banelings, right? Oh my god. Like, this is the slow... What? Where is he going? Like, if I didn't know for sure this was ranked ladder, I'd say this is fucking scripted. This is another, like, movie villain level. Like, the hero loses all his friends and must hold on against all odds while the villain is monologuing with his Banelings. He's had every opportunity.
For 20 months.
His stupid Baneling bust should kill you. And should have killed you. But he's gonna pull back until you have a Banshee, it looks like. What? Like, Even if there was no pressure and you were perfectly well defended, it's a tech lab. It takes like 12 seconds to build. Come on. You better agree with me. You deserve to lose. Like, just what I thought. You couldn't give him any more chances at victory. You left the factory. But thankfully the Banshee comes out, which he's just taking his sweet, sweet time here. Oh my god, he's not even gonna attack. Oh my, if that a goddamn fusion core, you shut the fuck up with the stupid fusion cores. This is why we get the YouTube commenters who haven't played since 2013 like, is this a real game? I don't fucking know. We've seen the other side of the story, though, with the Platinum Zergs. Usually, most of them have enough self-respect to not send in the Ling Bane attacks by now, but... like, we're gonna go Armory, Fusion Core, 3 Rex. Pick a lane!
Add-on finished up. Pick that one.
With +1 mech weapons. Pick a lane! And the unit count right now is 1 Banshee, 1 Marauder, and 1 Marine. And none of them are on, like... you're building hell, like this, I should just turn it off right now. We're building Hellbats out of a factory. Just like straight up Hellbat. Not even Hellions into Hellbats, no. Just straight up Hellbats. The most aggressively mediocre unit Terran has.
You engage the upgrade done. Remember this time? Upgrade completed.
Oh my god.
Your forces are just a little bit. Add-on is good to go. You took all
whatever happened to those bio, we're literally getting everything here.
But have we mineral
Cyclone, like, oh my god.
mind out of that?
To quote, like, another Terran, oh, it's my style. My style is the fucking Skittles variety pack of Terran.
And still in the game? Nice. The enemy engaged.
Like, I like most of the flavors.
Upgrade is all done. Your add-on is all done. Your army is under attack.
Microing your macro, like, you can do that. Mostly because the Zerg was doing a 1-base Bane bust without the Bane bust. Oh my god.
Under attack. I'll mind out of that mineral field.
I've
never seen this screen before. Wow.
You get a C+. And I'm putting I'm turning Terran to -17% with 3 asterisks. Those asterisks? No, 2 asterisks. And also shame. Like,
Shame.
this is not a shame in like
Shame.
you're so bad and you don't deserve to win. It's I'm embarrassed that you did. Like, I'm saying you deserve to win, but I'm embarrassed about it. I don't even know if I'm embarrassed for you. I'm just generally embarrassed. I can't describe it any better than that. It's embarrassing. Pick a fucking lane. And also, like, why? Just keep the... Sit down and build a tech lab. Alright? You entitled fucking factories think they can just go wherever they want. Build a tech lab. Thank you, Larissa, for the raid. Can't believe Zerg didn't win that? No. It was a Platinum Zerg. Okay. A Platinum Zerg is just... We've seen... I think we're about to see the other side of the story. Oh my god. I'm the blue Zerg. We're diving to silver. Oh my. Hopefully you had a good stream. It's almost impossible not to be more wholesome than me right now, but we monetize it at least. Upsetty Spaghetti. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. I said you were next. Did you not believe me? Stop sending games in which you win? No, this is about 500 MMR lower than any game we've seen tonight. So I'm interested to see what this means. We'll see, like, because we're getting them early. You've got to get to the Zergs before they just walk Zerglings up to platinum and then hit a literal and figurative wall.
Boner Patrol is chilling for 35 months.
Thank you, gentlemen and Scholar. Like, because so many Zergs are like, well, these Zerglings seem to be working, just like our friend last game. But then they get up to a certain MMR where the Zerglings stop working and they don't want to learn anything. Alright, so you can rally from eggs with your overlord. You know what? There's already more work put into overlords here than we've seen from some of the 1000 MMR higher Zergs tonight. So, obviously a bit rough around the edges. The basics. Okay.
Oh, follow.
Thank you, Vic Silence.
Is that all?
Vic Silence is chilling for 11 months. Happy solstice, my guy.
Where's this one going? Not that it's super important.
Is that all?
Luverus is chilling for 1 month.
Thank you, Boris. The generosity. Okay. That was actually the correct way to queue the Overlord. Though the second Ovi should probably be going to the... We're not worried about that. You're gonna want at least a couple Zerglings to just go scout and see what they're doing. Like, run them into the base. Not to kill anything, just to go see... do you have a bunch of roaches or Zerglings you're hiding? A lair. Roach Warren and Evo Chamber?
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
San Diego's 90 is chilling for 11 months.
Thank you, all of San Diego. Bit much on the drones, but that should inspire. Oh, what a wall. Though, so this obviously was a little messy, and unnecessary. Maybe at some point control groups are on the agenda. But still, a drone lead.
Depleted. Mutation. Metamorphosis complete. Mineral field depleted.
I would recommend if you got 1,000 minerals and you can't spend your larva, just build another hatch. Not another hatch on a base, just in the main or something. Sometime, maybe at the third even. Just another hatch. You'll eventually treat it like Brood War.
Metamorphosis complete.
There's Ricky. Ricky the accidental swarm host, a staple of Zergs.
Depleted. Mineral field depleted. Mineral field.
Another hatch.
Our forces are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
Hey. Good luck. See you in Platinum next week. A little bit better management on the drones. Try control grouping the main army. Start building a round of roaches at 44 drones. And then, if you're safe, you can go to 60. That was silver? Well, apparently that was when they were silver. They got to gold today. Which is not surprising to me. I'm judging that as gold. There was no scouting outside of the original Overlord, which is perfectly fine because that's all you need. There was no trying to counter what they're doing, but instead of trying to counter not having enough units. There you go. I have no other commentary. I don't want to give too many details because that's not the point to give many details. Did you ever get a GM game submitted for Angry Coach? You weren't here like an hour ago, were you? Okay. Just a Fan is up next. And Just a Fan said to look at my own. Telling your race, giving up an advantage. Zerg versus Protoss, arguably masters. This is a game where I play against Skytoss poorly, I believe. They asked for one I could legitimately criticize. I'm pretty sure this one has legitimate criticisms that I probably made at the time, but... The spores are... Well, there's no Stargate Scout, so the spores aren't early. The Zerglings could be spread. Like, if you're not going to be... If they don't send an Adept out, there's no reason not to spread the Zerglings to ideally catch vision of something coming out of the base. Because you're not going to be able to deal with the wall. Zerglings spread along the edges is to see what angle an oracle's coming in, or a void ray coming out, or something like that.
Swarm has evolved.
Or getting distracted by an adept.
Under attack.
Are you kidding me? You don't even block the base? That was about as missed as opportunities get.
Swarm forces under attack. Hive cluster under direct assault. Oh, a follower. Is that all?
Marmoose Shugs is chilling for 8 months. Nicest angry coach there is.
I mean, I was about to say supply block, but 2 overlords are finishing this moment. I was about to say no upgrades, but there's not enough gas for it quite yet. Injects are fine. Missing this one. It's not bad. So far, fine. Oh, there you go.
Swarm forces under attack.
Up. Well. Scout see Twilight Robo, which means it's going to ground. And then you have to decide how you deal with that. Confirm it's a Stargate, but the Twilight Robo already gives away the rest.
Swarm forces under attack.
Complete.
The Hydra Den is questionable. The Hydra Den means you're going to go to a later game. So it's not going to be Queens. Which means you're risking the Sky Toss. 65 drones at 6 minutes. Could be better.
Hive cluster under direct assault.
Evolution complete.
No Baneling Nest. If you don't add the Baneling Nest, you're kind of... It's a half measure. The Baneling Nest needs to be added. I never want to commit to it. It's an issue. The Baneling Nest is super important for actually breaking positions. Like right now, the army is... Well, nobody has an army. Everybody's been. There's almost nothing there. But of course, I don't have anything either, because we're 7 minutes in macroing. So. But I'm sure this... we'll get to the coaching part. This is a good game from me so far. The only issues are potentially with stylistic choices, not the actual gameplay. Like going for an all-in as opposed to playing for Hive.
Swarm forces under attack.
I think it's better to go for Hydra Baneling. If you asked me, I think going for a Hydra Baneling timing is better than just rushing Hive. But that's not what I do. I give up on any sort of timing like that, and I just go straight for Hive. Why? I don't know. Definitely overcommitting to spine crawlers. Not enough. 64 drones is not enough. That's not remotely enough. You're building spines like you got 100 drones. Yes, charge lots are annoying, but...
Mineral field depleted.
Where's the Bane Nest? Where's the Bane speed? There is none. 77 drones are late. It's late. Just kind of let the Protoss go.
Swarm forces under attack. Cluster under mineral assault exhausted. Evolution complete.
No upgrades. Could you do something? Could you maybe attack instead of like sitting around waiting for him to max out? Oh, those rocks. Yes, very dangerous.
Swarm forces under attack.
Very clever. Spent an extra 20 seconds dealing with a stasis. That could have been microed better.
Mineral field depleted. Swarm forces under attack. Hive cluster under direct assault. Mineral cluster.
Issue is, I don't actually know the army. By not getting a Spire, you're just accepting that you're going to lose fights in order to try to win the war. But I don't have an advantage. Like, I don't have a much larger economy. And I don't have, like, overwhelming upgrades or something. They're comparable. So, Hydras are not going to trade better than Carrier Templar. Corruptors and Vipers, like, I just don't want to play like that. So, I should have gone for Hydra Baneling. I should have tried to max out at, like, 10 minutes and smash. And it probably would have worked because he was going for Stargate Carrier behind it. I didn't make any effort to scout for that. So essentially, like, if you're going to let the game go this long, you need a Spire. Because you're going to have to play that late game. Which nobody wants to, but...
Mutation complete.
Without the Spire, you're essentially hoping they don't land the storms. Because everything on the ground... Like, Spire is also vulnerable to storm. Oh, I have a Spire. No upgrades. Spire is also vulnerable to storm, but you can make it a different angle. And you can actually kill carriers as opposed to killing interceptors.
Swarm forces under attack.
So he successfully presses the storm button 3 times and A moves over the army. Which I've kind of put myself in a position to die to. I mean, first mistake was not picking Protoss. Now we have to build Corruptors, but only after losing thousands of gas.
Mineral field. Mineral field depleted. Swarm forces under attack.
So killing or delaying that base is the economic leverage you can potentially use, but the carrier count is getting too damn high.
Hive cluster under direct assault. Hive cluster under direct assault. Forces under attack.
At some point, there's just too many carriers. Like, you need to have Vipers to drag carriers and pick apart the death ball. Yeah, seeing that base.
Mineral field exhausted.
The lack of air upgrades hurts. Just +1 air attack. There's a pretty decent argument. Do the lurkers all die to that? No, they kill the most of the army. I decide to pick a fight. Like, you're not going to win that fight. There's too many carriers. You need the entire army together with a couple dozen more Corruptors. Not a single Viper was built. The time for Vipers is when you've gotten to a stalemate. I never let it be a stalemate. You gotta build like a few dozen spores. You kind of just lay off the counterattacks and play for the like 40-minute game. Because no longer do you want to trade units. You're just playing for essentially semi-mining out. So, that's how you win with 100 less APM. I made the mistake of not trying to kill him before 10 minutes. Winter, but that didn't seem like a fun angry coach. I mean, if I looked at this, I would say you had every opportunity to max out on Hydraling Bane. You know you're not going to win against Sky Toss, mentally or literally. Just try to kill him. What are you doing? You've learned this lesson so many times. Try to kill him, and then just get out of the game. There you go. I hope that was the angry coach you were looking for. Parasitic Bomb is so good. Okay, Parasitic Bomb does 125 damage. Explain to me how it's so good against a unit that takes 4 of them, and they don't stack. You're gonna get 4 Parasitic Bombs in a row before shields regenerate or the Vipers die? You use one, back off, wash, rinse, repeat. Patience is a lost art. Oh yes, back off, shields regenerate. The shields absorb the whole Parasitic Bomb. Use another Parasitic Bomb. You magically keep that Viper alive, which is 200 gas, which is almost as much gas as a carrier. Taking damage negates shield regen. You know, he's right. Vipers are a good strat. Does it hit the interceptors? Yes, but you can't target them. Like, and killing the interceptors is not necessarily the whole problem either. I like, here's your angry coach. Just a fun ending for angry coach here. This is what usually happens when we get reasonably competent players. It's like, oh, okay, it's just normal. I haven't seen any games recently at the professional level of someone just having an answer to Sky Toss. It's like, I'm not saying it's unbeatable. What I'm saying is the amount of steps you have to go through. It's fucking 12-step program is Zerg. Like, you've got to stall out any ground counterattacks while picking apart a death ball and never eating any sort of significant splash damage. And if you can do that over about 15 to 30 minutes, you might have a chance of maybe winning eventually. If they screw up. Like, like, if they just go carriers with no Templar, well, then you just kill it with, like, Corruptors and Vipers. If they are too heavy reliant on the Templar or Ground Army, then you can go, like, Ultras to wipe out the Ground Army. Ultras, they're gonna die, but they're there to zone out the Templar, like Ultras and Banes. But if they have, like, a dozen carriers and they fill in the rest, then... Especially, like, that's +2/+1. It's not well, +3 wasn't even done yet. I don't know. I can't beat it. Not, like, I can only beat it when they fuck up actively. Like, they lost all their Templar for no reason. So, knowing that, I should have, tried to kill him earlier. Like, every Zerg has a different response, and they all seem very painful. Here's the thing, though, like, it's not easy to execute at the high level. Anywhere below the high level, there's a reason that Protoss is half a Grandmaster. Like, anywhere below those top, like, 500 APM players, there's pretty significant room for error. The problem is, against a Serral, against a Raynor, there is no room for error as Protoss. Now, sometimes it'll look pretty broken against them, but they can pick them apart. It's just so tedious. I'm not saying that it's unbeatable. I'm saying it's very difficult, and the obligation is on the Zerg to figure it out. The obligation for the Protoss is sit back and hope they don't kill you in time. Whereas for the Zerg, it's, what are you going to try today? So yeah, that's the end to the Angry Coach Marathon. Should I do more of my replays? Like, I have about a 75% win rate between the 5 and 15 minute marks. But that drops well below 50% on the other sides of it. You can do the math on that, I think. I've never been good at early game micro or late game micro. I like the really that's why I like that's my favorite part of Age of Empires too. Is the late game isn't, it is somewhat deathball, but it's much more just constantly throwing units and fighting over resources. Whereas StarCraft 2, because StarCraft 2 specifically, not StarCraft 1, because the units are so fucking good at killing each other, you can't really fight unless you're willing to commit most of your army, which could die in like 4 seconds. And that is why it feels so difficult to play the late game, is you can have all of your units fight each other and kill each other in 3 seconds. It doesn't matter what matchup. And that, I think, is maybe, it went a little too far with StarCraft 2. The top players make it look not easy, but doable, but anywhere even a little below that. I struggle. I'm too slow, too old, too bad, too dumb. And I'm way better than you guys. Maybe not Lasercat. So, Lasercat definitely, likely could beat me. Of today. Everyone else, though. So, on that wholesome note, thank you for sending in your replays and encouraging such great introspection. Like and subscribe.